Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good to see you. Welcome in, welcome in. Hi, Empress. Good to see you. Welcome in, welcome in. We're moving into our Friday. Into Freedom Friday, the most powerful way to wake up in the world. Welcome in, welcome in. This will be our uplifting, activating, encouraging, affirmative, loosening, and releasing morning live here. Good to see you all. Welcome in, welcome in. We're just starting the morning live. If you could say hello in the chat or good morning, and also where you're tuning in from, and I will give you a warm welcome in here. Hey, Christina, good to see you. Thanks for grabbing that heart right away to get us started. Hi, Danny. Good to see you, Danny. Excellent. Let's go, Empress. Beautiful. Freedom Friday. Freedom Friday. We speak on the three freedoms: freedom of the inner mind, emotional freedom, and then financial freedom as well. What does that entail? How does that happen? What type of journey does someone go on for that? Where does the transformation begin, or where does it lie? And the creation through the self. Let's go, Jesse. Good to see you. Good morning. How are y'all feeling on your Friday? Who's excited for your Friday?
You just gotta keep living, man. L-I-V-I-N.
Who's excited for your Friday? Who's excited to be alive? Let me know if the music gets too loud. Pumped. Let's go, Jesse. Pumped. Empress, let's go. Hey, Shannon. Good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. I gotta be careful with how I say it now, but those numbers in the upper left that you see on the screen, let's get those up. That is clapping. Right? That is clapping and showing your love and support there. Let's get those numbers up on the upper left-hand side of the screen. If I got any more excited, there'd be two of you. You'd be splitting, huh? That's funny. I've never heard that before. If I was any more excited, there'd be two of me. That's clever, though. I'm not sure if you heard that or made that up. Excellent. Let's go, Dom. Let's go, Dom. Good to see you, brother. Let's go, Dom. Good to see you, brother. Wayne Dyer, you'll see it when you believe it. Right? You'll see it when you believe it, not the other way around. What is it? What type of life are we living? Are we living in the I want to see it before I believe it, or I'm going to believe it before I see it? Right? Are we choosing a life of imagination, of courage, of empowerment, of faith? Or are we choosing a life of looking at the physical and then deciding how to feel because of that? And then deciding because of how to feel because of that. Trust and believe, and then walk in those actions, right? And then Neville Goddard, change the conception of yourself and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Can't get it off, right? Keeps kind of bugging out a little bit too. We'll go ahead and do a full body tension release here this morning as well. Please remind me, let's get it up to 50,000. Once that number in the upper left hits 50,000, we'll do that full body tension release. All of you have been incredible recently in the channel. Normally we hit that number no problem in the first hour generally. Let's go, Jesse. Let's go, Jesse. It's your Friday. It's your Freedom Friday wake up. Yeah, most powerful way to wake up in the world, to set your rhythm, to set your momentum, to set your harmony and your tune inside of yourself, to walk into your weekend in a very powerful way. We'll do affirmations and activations. We'll do that full body tension release once we get to 50,000 in the upper left there. And then we're also going to talk on those 3 freedoms: freedom of the inner mind, emotional freedom, and financial freedom. Good to see you all. Welcome in, welcome in. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Let's go. Let's go, Tina. Let's go, Tina. Let's go, Dom. Good to see you all this morning. If you could mention in the channel, say hello or good morning, and also where you're tuning in from, and I'll give you a warm welcome in here. Say hello or good morning, and I'll welcome you in here. Got to bring a little bit more of the fire, a little bit more of the spirit here today, as Fridays always do. Let's go, Winter Jean. Living in Florida, yeah, I'm sure it's very nice. Beautiful. Empress, are you East Coast or West Coast? I've been up and down all of Florida, and into the Keys as well. From the Ozarks. I've been through the Ozarks as well, briefly. Northwest. Gotcha. That's up by either Tampa or Tallahassee then. Yeah. Connecticut. Excellent. Hello from the Philippines. Good to see you, Philippines. Welcome in, Philippines. Pensacola. Okay, I got you. Let's go. Let's go. Everybody, welcome in, welcome in. I have traveled a lot more than most people have in their life or will in their lifetime. I spent a period of almost 10 years, 8 to 10 years of just traveling and going state to state to state, quite a few countries as well. And I saw lots and lots and lots of cities. So, traveled quite a bit. I'm able to relate with a lot of you where you're at, except for the Philippines. I've not been to the Philippines. I can't really relate too much with going over to the Philippines. However, I would definitely enjoy it. I would definitely enjoy it. Let's go. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Celeste. Good to see you. Good morning, Celeste. Good to see you. Let's go. Let's go. Everybody type in the chat, let's go. This is going to be your uplifting, empowering Freedom Friday wake up. Yeah, Rochelle. That's truly where everybody's at. None of my family was in Arizona. Or basically anywhere else in the country. Let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Freedom Friday. Let's tap into a couple things. Let's tap into a couple things here. Like thoughts, for example. Like thoughts, for example. What is a thought? Why is it important? Why do we care so much about it? Right? What is a thought? Why is it important? Why do we care so much about it? Right? What is this journey of the inner mind? Right? What is the journey of gaining power over your thoughts? For example, the Bible mentions the word thought 150 times. Most Bibles will mention it 150 times. The word mind gets mentioned 120 times. Right? And then the word heart gets mentioned over 700 times. So why would something in almost every religion, all spiritual teachers, spiritual masters, and now law of attraction or quantum physics, everybody's talking about thought. Thought, right? What are these thoughts and why are they so important to understand? Directs our inner world beliefs. Thoughts are a lot more unconscious. Beliefs. Is it safe to say, control action, is it safe to say that thoughts are a direct reflection of the energy of the self? Is it safe to say that thoughts are a direct reflection of the energy of the self? Okay, so that just flowed through. That was not something that I read anywhere. It's just coming through. So go ahead and type that in the chat. Thoughts are a direct reflection of the self. So the energy of the self, direct reflection of the energy of the self. So depending on the energy of the vibrational wave and frequency in which you're emanating in the quantum, in the field, these are going to be a direct reflection of the thoughts that we're having. So thoughts are a direct reflection of the energy of the self. The energy of the self. So contained in the energy field. That's what needs to be added there. Thoughts are a direct reflection of the energy of the self. There we go. That needs to be part of it, otherwise, because it's not truth otherwise. Beautiful. Because if you look at the self as one, as God, then it's not going to be the thoughts at all. So that's why it's important to add that energy piece in there. So the energy being the frequency and the waves that are emanating in the environment, in the field, can be a direct reflection of the thoughts that someone is having. For example, you could take one of the most negative people that you know, or someone who's living in hopelessness and despair, and if you put them on a beautiful beach, a lot of the times they're just not going to be so negative anymore, right? Even if you take one of the most negative people ever at your work, in your job place, and you're like, wow, this person's miserable, I hate being around them. You go ahead and you put them on the beach, on a beautiful sandy beach on a sunny day, and they might be very, very different. Maybe not, but the energy can change very quickly, right? Depending on the environment somebody's in. So for example, some of the people that you may not like that are always in a cube at your work, right? Maybe they're always in a cubicle, maybe they're always contained in a little box and they're very negative. They might just be a reflection of that environment, of the energy that they're contained in. And then all of a sudden you go ahead and you put them at an amusement park and they're like so much different, right? Wow, why do I like you all of a sudden? Why are you so different? They're no longer contained in a cubicle, right? So thoughts are a direct reflection of the energy of the self. So a lot of the times, instead of working directly with the thought, we can work with the energy. A lot of the times in the one-on-ones working with myself, I will point to individuals looking at where the energy is arising from. Well, where is this energy arising from? Or, for example, a lot of times people get very confused because they hate an emotion. For example, I hate this emotion. Get rid of this emotion. And I say something like, how is this emotion serving you? What? What? Like the mind glitches out because it's never asked that question before. What do you mean, how is loneliness serving me? What do you mean, how is this addiction serving me? No, this is terrible. This is evil. It's awful, right? It's not. No, how is that serving you? I've never asked that question before. So we start working on a deeper level on the energy of the field. Why is it arising in the first place? How is it serving you? What is its purpose? Right? What is its purpose of why it's arising? Okay, go ahead and type that in the chat. What is its purpose of why it's arising? What is this energy's purpose, and why is it arising? This will start to create a much deeper understanding inside of yourself. Just the simple awareness, the simple asking of that question can start to peel back some layers. Simple asking of that question and the awareness of it can start to peel back some layers. Let's go. Yeah. How is this serving me? What is its purpose? And why is it arising? Right. Instead of, I hate this, get rid of it. Let's go, David. Good to see you, David. Let's go, David. Okay. What is this energy's purpose? Why is it arising? How is it serving me? Most of the time people will just say, well, I hate being angry, or hate being sad or grieving, or get rid of this loneliness, or get rid of this addiction, or whatever it may be. But you've tried that. You've tried that, right? I guarantee you've gone through your whole life where you feel something and you don't want to feel it anymore. How many of you have gone through your life where you feel a certain way and you don't want to feel it anymore? I don't want to feel this. And then this is where the normal actions of the world come in, the numbing, the hiding, the distracting, the suppression, where there's no true understanding, no true feeling it, or whatever it may be. It's all about getting rid of it, right? The quickest painkiller or television show or whatever, right? The quickest way to get rid of this or the addiction. It's a very, very normal animalistic response of the brain, right? I speak on the prefrontal cortex and the limbic brain. The limbic brain is going to be the animal mind that wants the quickest dopamine hit. It wants the quickest escape. It's going to look for happiness in the fastest way possible, or relief in the fastest way possible. This is how it's designed. Right? So if it knows that it's living in misery, it's going to try and find the quickest escape. That's a survival response, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That's one thing to come to understanding when you're working towards emotional freedom, is it's a survival response. Of course, most people are going to grab for the quickest thing. Why would they not? Especially if they haven't been told otherwise, or haven't learned otherwise, or haven't trained their nervous system otherwise. If we haven't trained our body or our mind or our nervous system, of course, it's just going to do what it knows to do, what it's evolved to do. Right? Whatever it's evolved to do. So I talk on the reward system a lot. Pavlov, right? Pavlov. Those of you who have been in here a lot, you know when I talk about Pavlov, you know what I'm talking about. But who in here is new? Just put a 1 in the chat if you're new in here today. Type a 1 in the chat if you're new in here today, as more and more people are going to roll in here on this Friday morning. Just type a 1 in the chat if you're new in here today. Good to see you, Steph. Good to see you. Let's go, Brian. I don't know who it's getting pushed out to right now, so generally we'd easily have over 100 in here right now, so I don't know why it's lagging behind a little bit, but let's go down. Let's go down. Let's go. Excellent. So Pavlov's law, right? Pavlov is working with dogs, and he's testing their digestive enzymes in their juices. He's just learning how it breaks down the foods and what's happening inside of them. So he's continually giving them treats, and every time he's ringing a bell. He did not purposely do this. He found it out, right? So after a little bit of time, after a few weeks or a month had passed, he started to recognize he would ring the bell, and then they would start to salivate, and he would test their digestive juices, and they were already going before he even gave them the food, before he gave them the treat. So these juices are already starting to break down tissue inside of them, in their body. It's ready for the food. The saliva is ready for everything, even though all he did was ring a bell. So in a very similar way, this happens inside of us, all of us. Every single human being, this is happening. We're hearing a song, we're hearing someone talk about a certain restaurant or a food that you like, and all of a sudden, oh, I'm craving it, my mouth is watering, right? Some chemicals start going off. You might think about a thought about a loved one, and now I feel good. Now I'm thinking about a thought about someone that I enjoy, that I'm going to spend some time with, and now I feel like I'm in love. So in a very similar way, our nervous system, our mind, our body, depending on environmental circumstances, the ringing of the bells, or the thoughts or images that we're having, will start to create the chemical responses inside of us. So this is why we look at what's going on in the mind, what's going on inside of your world, because this is also going to be a direct reflection of how your body's responding and how the chemicals are responding inside as well. If someone were to ever come into a one-on-one with myself, I'm not a doctor, mental health therapist. However, for a lot of these so-called diagnoses, right, there's always a direct reflection with the inner mind, with the thoughts that they're having, with the images, with traumas, with pains, or with incidences. And then everything is a reflection of that, the chemical response, the thought response. So the more aware that we become of this, the more freedom that is possible. The more aware that we become of this, more freedom that's possible. The more that the brain is able to synchronize with the heart. Go ahead and type that in chat. The brain synchronizing with the heart. Yeah, the brain synchronizing with the heart. Morning, Jenny. Good to see you. Morning. The brain synchronizing with the heart. That's right. The brain synchronizing with the heart. So I'm going to break this down on what that means in a spiritual context and what that means with the Bible, what they're talking about and everything as well. And I'm going to change the music a little bit. Let's see if TikTok likes this a little bit more. Okay, so the brain synchronizing with the heart. Let's break this down in a few ways. So we're having thoughts dependent on the energy and the environmental context. These thoughts are creating your reality, yeah? So depending on what you're thinking is the actions that you're going to take and the choices and the habits that you're going to have, right? So when I talk about the mind, when you first start to work with it, it's a wild horse. It's chaotic. I can't control my thoughts. They're all over the place. There's all this fear, all this worry, all this anxiety. It's spinning, it's dooming, right? It's doom and gloom. It's the wild horse, it's the wild stallion. The wild horse, the wild stallion. So there we go. There's the wild stallion. Let's go, Jenny. Exactly. So we go ahead and we take a rope or we take a lasso and we try and tame this wild horse or this wild stallion. What does it do? What does this wild stallion do when we try and tame it in the beginning? What does this wild stallion do? Bucks, fights, right? Kicks, screams, resists. No, you don't own me. You don't control me, right? You don't own me. You don't control me. I control you. I do what I want. This is the beginning process of working with the mind. Resistance. You don't get to tell me what thoughts to have. You don't get to tell me what to do. I'm a wild stallion. I'm a wild horse. I've been running you for a very long time. Right? I've been running you for a very, very long time. So don't you all of a sudden just get to think that you get to choose, right? So the Bible points to thought 150 times. Take every thought captive, right? Is one of the most powerful verses. Take every thought captive. The Bible will speak on the mind over 120 times. Be ye there transformed by the renewal of your mind, right? Take on the image of the Creator in the transformation of your mind. And then it speaks on the heart over 700 times as being the inner thought of life. The inner thought of life itself. So this process is about having the mind come into control by the heart. Please type that in the chat. The process is having the thoughts and the mind coming into control by the heart. This is spiritual empowerment. This is spiritual awakening. This is when the heart ends up having control and power over the mind. It says, love is what's going to decide my action. Forgiveness, grace, peace is what's going to decide this action, not the animalistic response in the brain. So Paul has his overcoming in the Bible where he says, Lord, I know that which I want to do, and yet I do otherwise. Why? Teach me, show me, tell me. Why am I doing that which I do not want to do? I'm thinking one thing and my body's doing another. Right? So the heart has not gained control of the brain yet. They're not working together in synchronicity. I talk about mind, body, and soul working in harmony as one. Right? Mind, body, and soul coming into harmony as one. So Proverbs 23:7, as a man or woman thinketh in their heart, so is she or so is he. As you think in your heart, the deeper inner mind, right? That which is going on deep within, the belief systems deep within. So there's the physical heart, there's the emotional heart, and then there's the heart, what I call the heart of consciousness. There's 3 different hearts that you can point at, okay? Please type this in the chat. There's the heart, the physical heart, there's your emotional heart, and then there's the heart of consciousness, the heart of the all, the heart of God, however you want to state that. The heartbeat of life itself. Okay, so there's 3 different hearts that I can point to. The physical heart, the emotional heart that you have, and then the heart of consciousness, the heart of God, the heart of the all, or the heart of life, however you want to say that. Go ahead and type those 3 in the chat. Because you're going to have your physical beating heart, you're going to have your emotional heart where you say, I feel heartbroken, I have heartache or heartbreak, right? They broke my heart. I feel heartbroken, right? That's your emotional heart. And then there's the higher heart. That's right. So we got the 3 hearts to work with. Okay, as you move up the scale, of course, they have more power. As you move up the scale, of course, they have more power on the metaphysical level. On the scale of the quantum, they're going to have more power as you move up that scale. So your physical heart is going to be a response to the environment, to the foods that you eat, to the emotions, to the beliefs, to the thoughts, right? It's just beating with the electromagnetic field always. The physical heart is just always responding to the electromagnetic field and the environment. It's like an ever-beating clock, right? It's an ever-beating clock in tune with the environment, ticking to keep you alive always. You never really have to pay attention to it. It just keeps you alive. Even while you're sleeping, it's beating. When you wake up, it's beating. If you pay attention right now, it's beating. It's flowing your blood through your body. And even as you listen to my voice, it might be coming into a deeper synchronicity and feeling like a flowing river, able to be calm and relaxed. Yeah. And have the blood pressure come back into balance. Okay, now we have the emotional heart inside of you. How many of you have ever felt heartbroken? How many of you have ever felt, oh, my heart is broken? Either somebody was unalived and lost in your family or friends, or you went through a big breakup or divorce, right? Or maybe your child ran away from home or something like that. So you feel heartbroken, right? That's the emotional heart inside of yourself, not the physical heart. All right. So the mind in the Bible is speaking to all three of these hearts a lot of the time. That emotional heart inside of you, that deeper mind and the connections to those emotional states, they're always sowing seeds. They're always sowing seeds. They're sowing seeds of hatred or resentment or heartache or heartbreak. Sowing seeds of jealousies or envies. This is that emotional heart that's going on. And it builds inside, right? Hebrews 4:12, judge the thoughts and intentions of the heart. Judge the thoughts and intentions of the heart. So this is judging those emotional seeds that have been sowed within. Okay? And this is all a personal journey. Okay? And this is all a personal journey. It is only you who can figure out if you have jealousy being sown. It is only you who can figure out if you have resentment or angers, frustrations, hatred going on, hurt, right? Heartache. These are your own burdens, right? Nobody else's. What does Martin Luther King say? I have chosen love because hate is far too great of a burden to carry. He's talking about the burden on the emotional heart. He's talking about the burden on the whole body, mind. I can't carry hate any longer. It's a heavy weight. It's a weight upon my heart. And his heart and mind were in perfect synchronicity. That's why this man was so powerful in the spiritual community, in talking, because he was walking in mind, body, and soul connection, right, and speaking through the heart. So this is where we point at the emotional heart. And then also we have the heart of the all, the heart of God, the ever-beating heart of life, the presence of the beat of life. The presence of the heart of consciousness. The best way I can say this is the eternal heart. This is the eternal beat. It does not stop. It will never stop. It is the essence, pure core of life itself. Essence, pure core of life itself. You can only intuitively feel into it, maybe through the sound of my voice. The only way you could ever really get an image of it would be something similar to how Avatar shows Awa, how they show Awa. I forget the planet's name, but how that planet is just constantly beating. The heart is beating, and I'm not pointing to the earth. I'm pointing to the all. I'm pointing to energy behind all things, right? That has formed every galaxy, every universe, every sun, every star, every Milky Way, every black hole, the eternal beat, right? So these are the three hearts that I point to. So if your physical or emotional heart is veiled, if your physical or emotional heart is blocked, this is when you're not able to feel the big heart of God, the big heart of existence, the eternal heart. If your personal heart is blocked, hatred, jealousies, envies, lusts, greeds, heartache, heartbreak, the traumas, the pains, right? This is what blocks us from feeling that much larger heart that's far beyond ourself. And the deeper that you go, the more transformed that you become. They work one in itself. Right? So Romans 12:2 says, be either transformed by the renewal of the mind. This is working with the thoughts. This is working with your brain. This is working with your patterns, with your interruptions, right? And then many people in, for example, Heart Math Institute are proving the power of when your heart-brain comes into synchronicity. Your electromagnetic field in your whole body, it becomes the source of a magnet into and of itself. So they show the electromagnetic fields as they're increasing, as when the heart and brain come into coherence. And they can show this on a scientific level now. They can show the frequencies, they can show the waves emanating, they can show the power of the human being without having like muscle power, right? Let's go, Jenny. Jenny, you're a blessing. Let's go, Jenny. Everybody put a star in the chat for Jenny. Everybody put a star in the chat for Jenny. Let's go with the meteor shower. You're awesome. You're all stars, right? Psalms 139:2, you perceive my thoughts from afar. You perceive my thoughts from afar. What is that saying? What is that insinuating? What is that saying? What is that insinuating? You perceive my thoughts from afar. That means that the higher mind thoughts or Holy Spirit thoughts are far away from you because we're living in our own thinking. We're living in our own pain or our own traumas, our own emotions. Right? So all of the true thoughts are perceived from afar. 2 Corinthians 10:5, take every thought captive to obey the Christ. What is that? That is the light. That is the heart of consciousness. That is the heart of existence. Christ says, for I tell you, I am in all things. I am in you. I am in your heart until the end of time. Not a man in the cloud, but the heart of life behind all things. Let's go, Jenny. So it says, take every thought captive to this light. Take every thought captive to the truth. Can this thought hold its power in the light? Go ahead and type that in the chat. Can this thought hold its power in the light? Can this action, can this emotion, can this thought hold the power in the light? Let's go. Let's go, Jenny. Let's go, Jenny. Can this thought hold its power in the light? This is what that verse means in 2 Corinthians 10:5. Take every thought captive to obey the Christ. Can this thought hold any power in the light? Right. Let's go. Is it possible? Does it hold any strength there? Light it up. That's right, Jenny. You're awesome. Light it up. Yeah. Can this thought hold any power in the light? Is it possible? Does it hold any strength there? Does the emotion of pain, of trauma, of misery, does the emotion of hopelessness or loneliness or jealousy or envy or anger or frustration, does it hold the power in the light? As a man thinketh or a woman thinketh in their heart, so is he or so is she. How many of you have heard that before? That is becoming very popular, right? As you think in your heart, let it be done unto you, as it is done unto you, right? As you are believing and perceiving inside of yourself, that is your reality in which you're living. As you're believing, as you're perceiving inside of yourself, that is the reality in which you're living. And the eyes become very veiled. The heart becomes very veiled. The eyes and the heart become very veiled. For some, the imagination gets completely turned off. There's a lot of people who can no longer imagine things. They can no longer imagine a beautiful future. They can only see a horrible world, or evil, or people trying to take advantage of them, right? There's a lot that have their imagination completely closed. How many of you have had your imagination open more since you've been in this channel, where you're now able to envision or create more things through your mind? Or maybe you're able to just see a brighter life if you do look into the future. How many of you have had your imagination opened more? Let's go, Empress. Let's go. Let's go, David, Stephanie, Christina. Good to see you all this morning. So much more. Imagination is the difference between you and a robot or AI. Imagination is the difference between you and an animal. Really, there's not too much else that's different. Otherwise, we're just living by the automatic responses of the nervous system of the mind in which you have learned. Right? You didn't realize how closed it was, right? Why? Because we fall asleep. We sleepwalk through life. We sleepwalk through life. We go through the same routine, the same patterns. We think the same way. We believe the same way. We act the same way. We have the same opinions and thoughts. And then there's some of you who go on the journey of waking up. And then there's some of you who find out the truth. Let's go, Jesse. There's some of you who have a deep yearning and calling inside of yourself for true freedom. For no longer just listening to what somebody else says, but you want to know for yourself. You want to know and you want to feel free inside. You want to know and you want to feel free inside. True freedom. This is where it's no longer just a blind faith. Most people in religion or churches will tell you just have a blind faith, right? Just believe, just believe. And you've never felt it before. You've never felt the Spirit. True freedom. So imagination is a higher mind. Please type that in the chat and understand this, because a lot of the world is designed to shut off your imagination. It's designed to shut down your creativity. It's designed to get your nervous system stuck. It's literally designed this way, through media, through celebrities, through television and the news. It is designed to destroy your imagination, your creativity, and to get your nervous system and body stuck. Imagination is a higher mind. It's where the vast majority of the power as being made in the image of God is created. Now, you better believe there are people on this planet who don't like you as being a son and daughter of created from the Most High. And they'll do whatever they can to suppress you, to take away your creativity, your imagination, or your connection. There's many principalities and evils and powers of this world that don't like you so much as being a son and daughter of God, where you're just living this life experience shortly, and then you can return to the light. Other beings don't like that so much. No, I'm going to force you into the darkness. You're coming into the pits of misery of hell with me. You are going to be dragged down to the pits and misery of hell with me. I'm going to do everything I can to control your mind, to take away your imagination, and then to get your heart to sow many seeds of envy, of jealousy, of lust, of frustrations, of angers, of hatred, of hurt, and to fall into the media, the news, the fear, and to have your whole body locked up. How many of you have ever felt like your body was locked up, like you couldn't even move? You wanted to. I want to create. I want to move. I want to do something, and I can't. I literally, my body and my nervous system is stuck. What's going on? How many of you have ever felt that? And there's this massive, almost a pain inside that happens. Almost a pain inside that happens. I really want to move right now, and I can't. I really want to move and I can't. If we were to see this on a spiritual level, understand what this would look like. Understand what this would look like if you had your spiritual lens and eye open. Is this not equivalent to being in a cage and having a shackle or a chain or a big ball and chain on your foot, and you're trying to move or get out and you can't? I'm trying to move. I'm trying to get out of this prison, out of this cage, and I can't. Is that not equivalent if you were to see it from a spiritual lens? I want to move my body. I want to create. I want to do these things, and I can't do it. My nervous system won't allow it. My body won't allow it. This is a shackle. This is a chain. There is a prison and a cage. But we can't see it because our spiritual eye is closed. We can't see the emotional pain body. And we can't see all the little other things that are going on. Christ says, your battle is not against flesh and blood, but against the principalities and powers of the evil of the darkness of this world. He warns many, many times that once you find the truth, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to like what you see. Especially in the Gospel of Thomas. It says, let those who seek continue seeking until they find. When they find, they will become troubled. And that's very troubled. You'll become troubled at what's going on inside of your own mind and own world. And then after that process is complete, you will reign over the all. Why? Because you'll recognize yourself as one with the Creator, as one with the creative energy. You are never separate from it. You're a son and daughter of the Most High. You're made in the image of God, and the world is designed to take that away from you. The world is designed to tell you otherwise. So then you can't create, so you can't live in this beautiful life, so you can't feel the light and see the light. And so your experience becomes one of being dragged into the misery, into the mud, into hell on earth. Right? How many of you have ever experienced that? I feel like I'm going through hell on earth. I know this guy did. Right? I know this guy did. How many of you have ever experienced that? Now understand, it says where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's liberty. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Where the vast light is, there is liberty. Where there is an immensity of truth, there is liberty. There's freedom. Freedom of the inner mind, emotional freedom. And then from there, creating financial freedom. So the deeper patterns that are being taught now in quantum physics, that are being taught through all the ancient spiritual masters and through the Bible, is thoughts create the identity. Identity creates your actions, and then your actions create your destiny. Now, do you think those who are in control of the media, who are in control of the news, who are in control of the radio understand this? Do you think that these billionaires know this process? Do you think that there's occults and dark magic and all these things that understand how identity gets formed? Do you think there's people like Adolf Hitler, for example, who understood this on a very powerful level? If I can get people to think a certain way, this is going to create their identity. Their identity is going to create their actions in life, and that will become their destiny. Jenny, you're blowing it up today. Everybody give Jenny another star. You're going crazy today. You're going cray-cray, Jenny. You're awesome. You're awesome. Thank you so much for all the corgis. We're doing the butt waves with the corgis. So, guess what? The world understands this, not people of the world. You're doing incredible. Oh my gosh, you're such a blessing. Thank you. Your thoughts, right? Your thoughts creating the identity creating the actions creating your destiny. What does Carl Jung say? Unless you make the unconscious conscious, it will run your life and you will call it fate. You will call it your destiny. Carl Jung, one of the greatest psychologists of all time, says, unless you make the unconscious conscious, it's going to run your life. It's going to run your life. You are going to call it your fate or call it your destiny. This is also what the Bible is pointing to. It's what every spiritual master is pointing to. This is what Christ is pointing to, the truth of awakenings, of the spiritual awakenings within as well. All right? So if someone is able to figure this out and get you to think a certain way, get you to feel a certain way, this is now the design of many videos on social media or AI. This is what people are doing now, okay? Because they understand they can get you to do something if they get you to feel a certain way. Hey, how can I get people to feel a lot of fear so they will comment on this video? How can I get people to feel FOMO, fear of missing out on this sale? How can I get people to feel this, to feel that? Understand this is happening on an incredibly powerful level now. Oh my gosh, Jenny. Everybody show Jenny some love. Wow, she's just blasting right now. Jenny's blasting, going crazy. So the media, the news, right? Your sources in which we grow up with. The sources in which we grow up with. They don't need to force you to do anything. Jenny's getting 6 stars, not just 5 stars, 6 stars. Jenny. Right. They don't need you to force you to do anything. The people at the top don't need to force you to do anything. If they just feed you with certain thoughts, if they feed you with certain beliefs, if the media is fed to you in a certain way, or celebrities feed you in a certain way, you're gonna think that way, you're gonna act that way, and the habits will become that. They don't have to do anything else. Why do you think so much money is offered to some of these young celebrities to sell their souls, to sell themselves? You're gonna be rich, you're gonna be a millionaire, you're gonna have everyone love you. You just have to follow all of our words and all of our music. Then you gotta just show some skin on stage, or whatever it is, right? And they get them at young ages. They get them at 12, 13 years old, 14 years old, right? Justin Bieber talks about this experience. Jim Carrey talks about this experience. Many celebrities are coming out and talking about this now, right? They had me sign some evil stuff, and they told me, right, I'm going to be promised everything as long as I just follow what they say. I'll be promised the world. Everybody will worship me and love me as long as I do everything that they say. As long as I sing their music, as long as I sing their lyrics and songs. Why? Because music is the most powerful way to program somebody. Please type that in the chat. Music is the most powerful way to program any person on the planet. Music is going into your heart. It's going into the unconscious very, very quickly. Music is going into the heart. Excellent. Thank you, Tina. We'll do that full body release after this. Remind me again. We'll do that full body tension release right after this. Music is the most powerful way to program anybody. There is no more powerful way than music. Why? Because it's bypassing the conscious thinking mind. The greatest composers and masters of all time, they understood this. They understood this. This is why Beethoven, Bach, Mozart, why it has such a powerful influence upon your nervous system. Beethoven, Bach, Mozart, all of the greatest composers of all time, it fixes your nervous system in a lot of ways. Right? They're a blessing to humanity. They're a blessing to humanity. And they didn't let the evils and the powers and principalities know what they were doing. They didn't let them know what they were doing. They were masterminds. Understand their connection and masterminds. All right? These are some of the greatest services to all of humanity. One of the greatest services to all of humanity, to all of mankind. What do you think is one of the greatest disservices to humanity, to all of mankind? Maybe things like Doja Cat and... right? Hollywood, right? Hollywood is one of the greatest disservices to all of mankind. And it's touching the world now. They're doing whatever they can to get it out to the whole world. Not just America now. Not just America, but the whole world. I need to reach everybody with this lust, with this greed, with this envy. I need to reach everybody with these judgments. Right? Why? Because it programs the child, it programs the teenager, it programs the mind very, very quickly. And now what are we seeing in most 20-year-olds or teenagers? They act exactly like these celebrities or these Hollywood people on TV, do they not? Who in here would agree with me? The vast majority of teenagers or 20-year-olds are acting exactly like the people they see in Hollywood, on stage, or on social media. Right? Same type of words. They try and dress the same way. They try and act the same way. They try and dance the same way. They try and shake their butt or show their body in the same way. Why? Because music is the most powerful programming in all of existence. The waves of energy go inside. The conscious mind opens up. It is hypnosis. I am a master in hypnotherapy. I understand this more than anybody. I understand this more than anybody. I understand the mind and how it's programmed more than anybody you'll ever find on the planet. Music is the quickest way for this to happen. So they are reaching massive amounts of children and teenagers very, very quickly in the most powerful of way. This is why there's so much money given in Hollywood. This is why so many people will sell themselves for money there. Not only has it always influenced culture, but now it is influencing in a much more powerful way because it's accessed so quickly and it's always on, right? Before, to listen to music, you'd have to hear somebody play an instrument. You'd have to hear somebody singing on stage. And now it's just everybody has headphones in everywhere, right? Wherever they go. Wherever they go, there's headphones, there's iPods in, right? Wherever I'm on the train or I'm in the bus or I'm walking. This is just in the last 30 to 50 years, right? Where it's constantly in the ear, music. Now, when music is constantly in the ear, guess what? You're constantly being programmed. That individual is constantly being programmed by whatever music they're listening to. It's a never ending. And the more that the neurons fire together, they wire together, right? The more that neurons fire together, they wire together. Right? So what does it also explain in the Bible? That these evils, that the powers of the world, that Lucifer, right, is far more intelligent than any human being. Far more intelligent than any human being can possibly imagine. Do you think that... First one. Jenny. I'm beyond appreciative. I'm beyond appreciative right now, Jenny. Jenny. Everybody send Jenny some love. Wow. Everybody send Jenny a star right now. You're awesome. That was the first one for the team. That was the first one for the team on this channel. There's a first time that had to happen at some point, right? Thank you so much, Jenny. You're incredible. Wow. My heart goes out to you right now. My heart goes out. I feel that one. Many blessings. You'll be blessed 10 times over. I can promise you that, with the understandings that come through and the differences that happen. Jenny. Wow. You're awesome. You're awesome. I'll definitely put that replay on the channel. That one will get posted. I have to continue onward. But you definitely made the live. That's for certain. You're awesome. Okay, so the principalities and powers understanding how the mind is programmed, how your mind is programmed, how emotions will create your destiny, how thoughts will create your destiny, and how the narrative can get controlled, right? How the narrative, how the story inside of yourself can get determined. Now, you're going to see this more and more with a lot of people, okay? You might... No, you're awesome. I appreciate you. You don't need to be quiet. But yeah, I mean, you've definitely sent more than your fair share. So you're incredible. Thank you. When it comes to talking with other people now, if you were to bring up certain belief systems, certain opinions, certain thoughts, even if you do it in a very gentle way, it's going to get shut down instantly. They won't want to listen to you. They won't want to hear it. There's going to be a very, very big veil. They won't even be able to have a conversation with you about it, I promise. All right? The program is going to be so deep inside that there's going to be no opportunity to even have a conversation. If you start talking in a certain way, they'll be looking up in the clouds or the sky. Or they'll be saying, no, I don't believe what you're saying. I can't talk like that. I can't talk about those things. It's going to happen. I promise you. Why? Because it's gone deep. And those actions, those belief systems have now become their destiny. Has now become their faith. Okay? In a very similar way, this happened in Germany in the 1930s, 1940s. People were fed a lie and thoughts over and over and over and over again. This became their emotions and identity, and now they were, this is who I am. Right? Hail, I've got to be careful with my words, right? But hail, this is who I am. And then their actions preceded that. And then we all know how that happened. They went to their doom for their leader. They went to their doom for their leader. Is it possible that's happening in the same way in the world right now? Could it be possible that's happening in our world right now, where people are being fed in a certain way, where their mind is being programmed, their thoughts for certain beliefs, and then their identity gets formed, and now their identity is creating their actions, and there's no stopping it, there's no seeing it? Could it be possible it's happening again? Where there's certain people who understand this on the deepest of levels of how to control the narrative, of how to feed you with certain things through the media, so you will think a certain way, and then act a certain way, and then take certain actions because of it. Is that possible? Now understand, there's not going to be conscious choice when this happens. Everybody thinks that they have free will and conscious choice. Everybody in the world thinks that they're living by free will and conscious choice. If you truly were living by free will and conscious choice, you would always be creating that which is serving you. You would not be feeling the deepest of depths of loneliness, of despair, of hopelessness, of fear, of anxieties, of worries. And you would be choosing things that are bringing you life, that are bringing you love, that are bringing you more money. Right? Can you agree? If everyone truly had free will and conscious choice, they would always be choosing that which is serving them, yes? Rather than the opposite. So with that being true, can we agree that the brain gets hijacked? That the brain gets hijacked, so then your actions, your choices, your responses, your emotions are not in alignment with that free will or higher choice. This is why in the Bible it says, you perceive my thoughts from afar. You are not in alignment with my thoughts. You're in alignment with the thoughts of the world. Right? Jennifer. Let's go, Jennifer. Right, let's go, Jennifer. Your Freedom Friday. Take every thought captive to obey the Christ. Why does Jesus go into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights? To overcome the temptations of the world, right? To overcome the temptations of all of the inner thinking, all the inner thoughts. And recognizing I'm not going to be a slave to the nervous system, to the brain. Gens are the best. Yeah, you gens are awesome. You gens are awesome. Right? Thank you, Jennifer. Let's go, Jennifer. He's saying no more animal brain, no more limbic response. That's the truth of what Jesus is doing in the desert. Holy Spirit leads him into the desert away from humanity so the brain can be overcome. No more animal mind, no more animalistic response. Wow, Marissa, you're all just blowing it up today. Look at the cape. Superhero cape, right? So what is the process of this change? What is the process of the renewal of the mind? Number one is being aware of what's happened. Just type that in the chat, please. Being aware of what's happened. You're all awesome today. I can't express my appreciation enough. I still need to continue onward, though. That's the hardest thing. It's like I'm going to be very, very appreciative and love you all so much, but I got to continue talking. Right? So becoming aware of what's happened is by far most important. Becoming aware of what's happened to the brain, to the mind, right? So this is where we start to recognize, is this belief system, is this thought truly, is it truth? Is it in highest alignment of my truth, or is it something my parent gave me? Is it something my school gave me? Is it something my coach or my teacher gave me? Is it something that this person that hates me gave me, right? What is it that happened? Who gave me this? Right? Who gave me this? Go ahead and type that in the chat. Who gave me this? If it's in alignment with a lower mind emotion, if it's something that shame on you, you should feel guilty, you're not good enough, I hate you, why are you even here? You're never going to be free from this addiction. Right? If it's anything that feels like a detriment upon your being where you feel stuck, who and what gave me this? Who and what gave me this? It doesn't truly belong to the truth of yourself. This does not belong to the truth of me, right? Who gave me this? What gave me this? Who gave me this and what gave me this? And that's not to just fall into anger or rage or hatred, because understand, the song is very powerful from Rage Against the Machine, I think. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in the cage. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in the cage. So anger, rage, frustration will not get you out of it. Hating other people, hating your parents, hating the system, hating the government, hating the devil, all these things never gets you out of it. This is what they want. Guess what? Those who are in power and control, if you get more angry, if you get more rage-filled or more fearful, you're falling into the same trap. Please type that in the chat. If I get more angry, more full of rage, or more full of fear, I'm falling into the trap. They've got you. The system has you. The matrix has you. This is how it's designed to overtake you. If you get more frustrated, more angry, more full of rage, or more full of fear, you're falling into the trap. Why? Because there's no way out of the prison this way. There's no way out of the cage this way. You will spin in cycles. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in the cage. There's no freedom to be had there. When we understand how certain emotions are creating certain things in the world, understand this. Fear creates attention. Attention creates engagement. Engagement creates money. Please type this in the chat. Because when your brain understands this, you will not fall into the fear traps any longer. Or when your being understands this, you won't fall into the fear traps any longer. Fear creates attention. Attention creates engagement. And engagement creates money. I challenge you to try and find a news channel that never spreads fear. I challenge you to find a news channel that is not feeding you with fear every 5 minutes. Okay? Fear creates attention. Attention creates engagement. And engagement creates money. Okay? This is the process of how it works on a psychological level. This is how they control many people to keep the money coming in. And whoever has the money has the power, yes? Can you agree with me? Whoever has all the money has all the power. Why do you think world leaders do whatever they can to get more and more and more money? More and more and more money. Accumulate, 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 accumulate. Because whoever has the money on this planet has the power, right? So if we understand that fear creates attention, attention creates engagement, and engagement creates more money. And the more money I have, the more power I have. Right. So guess what? For anybody who is watching videos that are fearful about things going on in the world, about things being pushed, you are falling into the trap. You are part of giving the system that is designed that way more money. You're a part of that attention engagement cycle. And then the algorithm reads it and says, everybody loves watching things that are fearful. Everybody loves watching things and engaging on things that are causing this anxiety and this fear and this worry. I'm going to push it out more. I'm going to give it to millions of more people. Every time someone comments on something of, oh, that's scary, I hate that, I hate these people, it is feeding that spinning. The conspiracy theories, yeah, it is spinning it is keeping the wheel going. It is spinning the wheel. So I see this in comments quite a bit where people are saying things like, well, how do we stop this? This is so wrong. This is so bad. Oh, this is scary. I just woke up. I hate life. What's going on? Even just their simple engagement of saying something like that is feeding the cycle. Right? The simple engagement of the comments feeds the cycle. If I ever run into anything like that, I can't comment on the videos. No matter how spiritually empowering it may sound, my body isn't allowed to comment on it. There's a higher voice that says, don't feed it, every single time. Sometimes my nervous system will want to say something like, oh, don't worry about, right, don't look at this, it's all fear or whatever. And then the higher mind says, don't feed it at all, don't comment on it, don't like it, don't give it any attention, don't give it any energy. Don't feed the source. Right? This is the play of the devil, right? It's the play of the principalities and the powers of the evils of the darkness of the world. They understand how to control the emotions, how to understand how to control the mind, how to get people to fall deeper into loneliness, into hatred, into separation, into division, into hating each other. What do you think the game of the red and the blue is now? Why do you think in the past 100 years people hate each other so much more who's red and blue? We have figured out how to divide even more. We have figured out how to hate each other even more. We have figured out how to never see eye to eye. And let that fire, let the hate grow, let the resentments grow. And let the red and the blue split more and more and more. Right? Same thing with other countries. Right? Why? Why? If we can keep someone spinning in anger, in frustration, in opinions, in rage, or in fear, they are going to think that they're involved. Understand, there's a psychological phenomenon that happens. There's a psychological phenomenon that happens, that someone feels involved in something if they're talking about it. For example, there's a world conflict that happens, and now they're doing a news report on it. Even if there's 100 or 200 people that watch it, they feel very involved in it. It becomes a part of their reality. And then there's all these threat responses, psyops. That's right. These are very, very, very dark, deep level psychological factors that are happening on inside. Very, very dark psychological factors that happen on inside of you. And people at the top understand these things. They know how to get people to do what they want. So there's these studies done by certain scientists that were trying to prove what higher structures were doing. So they were taking these basically like tuning forks, but they're actual mechanical devices. Hey Megan, good to see you. Missed the uni. They're actual mechanical devices, right? So they take these devices that are basically like tuning forks, and they're going into environments and they're emanating a frequency into the field. So they set it to a certain tone. What happens is 30 to 40% of people in the environment end up doing a different action that they want them to do. So let's say they go to an amusement park where everybody's acting a certain way. They're doing all these certain things. And now they want people to start throwing garbage outside of the garbage can. They no longer want people to hit the garbage can and actually keep it clean. So they test it. They change the frequency. They change the tuning through these mechanical devices, which basically like a tuning fork. They're changing the vibrational rate and frequency of the environment. What happens? 30 to 40% of the people start changing their action, and they start throwing it on the ground rather than in the garbage can. Now, the scientists that figured out these devices, they ended up destroying them because they said this is evil. They said this is not okay. We are manipulating a vast majority of people very, very quickly. What people are able to get manipulated, what people are able, what are the people that are changing their actions and choices so quickly depending on the frequency and environment? Now, do you think when the frequency and environment is filled with news or doom or terror or looking at what's going on in the world or the streets, do you think this changes people's actions? Do you think this frequency that's emanating into the field is going to change 30 to 40 to 50% of people's actions? Do you think that fear and worry and doom and gloom or anxieties? Now, is there a chance that the people at the top understand this, so every other day they're putting in a new thing in your experience that is, wow, this is horrible. Wow, now look at this what happened. Now look at this what happened. Now look at this what happened. And your nervous system never has an opportunity to rest. You're always in fight or flight response. Your nervous system never has an opportunity to rest. This is where 80 to 90% of Americans are living right now, and they think they have free will. They think they have conscious choice. And their mind and nervous system is overflooded by what's called global hypervigilance. And then a lot of people think that they're so opinionated and so smart on the subject or whatever it is. But in truth, there's a threat going on inside of themselves, and they're becoming more and more involved in their nervous system being in that fight, flight, or freeze response. And they can't get out of it. They're in a cage. They're in a shackle. Or it's even become their money source, right? Or it's even become their money source. So this is a very powerful understanding. If you understand that fear feeds attention, attention will create engagement, and engagement will create money. Because once people figure this out, or once AI has taught this to a lot of people, they're using it against you. I promise. Many people use fear against you. The fear of missing out on a sale. The fear of things happening in your life. Sometimes your relationship or your partner will use it against you. You should be afraid of losing me, right? You should be afraid of losing your money, whatever it is. Fear is used for a reward. Now, a lot of you aren't going to like to hear what I'm saying, but it's used as a personal reward a lot of the time. Fear is not of the Spirit of God. It is used for personal gain. Right? Fear is used for personal gain. Always. Always. And it can be used by your partner sometimes. But you need to recognize it. It's not that they're evil, but there's some sort of personal gain that's trying to be had by making you fearful or scared. Right? So fear is used for personal gain. It's never of the Spirit of God. It's always used by the ego. Always. It's always used by the ego identity. So what is not used for personal gain? Love. Love, unity, oneness, seeing brothers and sisters as yourself. When the disciples asked Christ, what are the two greatest commandments? If we're to put two above all others, there's way too many. We can't follow all these laws. Right? We can't follow all these laws. There's too many. What the heck do we follow? What the heck do we listen to? Love God the Father with your mind, body, and soul. Love the ever-present creator of existence with your whole being. That's living in gratitude and appreciation for life itself, right? And then love all brothers and sisters as yourself. As yourself. What is that? That's unity, that's oneness, that's seeing nobody as different. I don't care what skin color you are. I don't care what religion, what race you are. I don't care what you believe in the world or what you've done. I love you. I have no other option. When you've looked at every other pathway, there is no other option. There's no other way. When you've searched the deepest depths inside of yourself, into the soul, into truth, there's no other option. There's no other way. I have to love you. I don't have a choice. Whether you're in another country, whether you're whatever religion, whatever race, whatever gender you are, it doesn't matter. Now, how is the world and the programming designed? What is the opposite? The world and the programming of the world in your social media, in your news outlets, in musicians, in Hollywood, in movies, is designed to cause a separation and a divide. It's designed to cause you to look at another human being and saying they're bad because of this. They're wrong because of this. I'm in this case because of this. Oh, the terrible whatever skin color, or the terrible whatever race, or the terrible whatever religion, or the terrible whatever, right? It's always designed to cause the divide and the split inside, and the hate, and the hurt, and the pain. And it keeps us in the never-ending bondage and karmic cycle. Keeps you in the never-ending cycle of the bondage. Love is the only key to true freedom. Go ahead and type that in the chat. For I tell you, the heart of God is mercy. God is love. Love is the only the only key to freedom. There's no other key to freedom. It doesn't exist. People can look, they can search, they can try and find it wherever they want. Love is the only key to freedom. There is no other key when it comes to freedom inside. Not only is the key, but it's the only key. People can search their whole lives to try and be free, to try and fill a void or a hole inside of themselves, to try and control or manipulate people, to lie, to cheat, to steal, to lust, to greed, whatever it is. But love is the only key to freedom. There is no other way. Hebrews 4:12, judge the thoughts and intentions of the heart. And it's not pointing to other people, it's pointing to ourself. I'm judging and looking at my own thoughts and intentions of my own heart. Do not cast your net upon others and judge their hearts. That is not your space. That is not your duty. This is what a lot of religious communities do, or it's a lot of what, not every Christian, but a lot of Christians do. They're trying to be the judger of other people's hearts, of other people's sins or experience. It's about judging our own thoughts, our own intentions within inside of our own self, and about shining grace and mercy and love upon others. That is the true path. Do not be fooled by a lot of these people that are saying they're anointed, or they're the holy chosen one, or whatever it is, and then they're looking at everybody as evil, and they're calling everybody witches and witch or whatever. That is not the true Christ, and that is not the true Holy Spirit. So take every thought captive to obey the light. Take every thought captive to obey the one true power. Yeah. This will start to create a massive freedom inside. So another thing that happens with churches is they say meditation is new age and it's evil. The Bible mentions meditate 30 to 40 times. Depending on the Bible that you read, it mentions meditate 30 to 40 times. Jesus in the Bible would never mention meditation if it was evil. Right? This is the process of seeing what's going on inside of your own awareness. That's all that meditation means. Please type that in the chat. Meditation means becoming aware of the process of what's going on inside of your own awareness. I know that's kind of long, kind of wordy, but it's true. It's not some evil thing. Meditation and fasting are mentioned a lot in every single religion. Every religion. Right? Why? because it's the process of becoming aware of what happens inside of you, not inside of others. Now, most people with very deep religious spirits or very dark veils, they won't want to look at their own selves. They won't want to look at their own pride. They won't want to look at their vanity or their lust for power or control or whatever it is. This is why meditation has become evil in those places. Or they don't want to look at their own judgments that they're sowing or whatever it is. Or looking at the world from a divided eye. Looking at the world from a divided eye. Christ says, when thine eye becomes single, your whole body will be full of light. When thine eye becomes single, your whole body will be full of light. The ego eye is depleted, and your eye of the all is one. Most people say, my physical eye or my spiritual eye. You can look at it as spiritual eye, I guess. But the truth of what he's pointing to is when you're in the oneness. Yeah, he's not even pointing to the third eye, to be honest. I know a lot of people want to think that way, but that's not what Jesus is pointing to. When your third eye opens, when your spiritual eye opens, you're going to be able to see many things that you didn't see before. But this still isn't the oneness. It's not the pure clarity of the love light awareness and what he's pointing to. All right. You may see more things that are spiritual. You may see more things about yourself. A lot of things will open up in your inner world and the outer world, right? But it's still not the deepest of truth that he's pointing to. He's not pointing to a physical part of the body. All right, no goal. I got to remove that from your being. The one who's trying to find the goal will never be able to find it. That's the most difficult part about the understanding there. No goal, Jennifer. It's just simply becoming aware of that which is happening inside of you. Okay? So, becoming aware of the thoughts. Right? Becoming aware of the thoughts. And then you become aware of these thoughts that start to arise inside of yourself. Now we become disturbed. Now's the process of becoming disturbed. Why? I don't like these thoughts. What's going on inside of me? I'm an evil, horrible person. Why am I thinking this way? I don't like my mind. How many of you have gone through that process? I don't like my thoughts. I don't like my mind. I'm an evil, horrible person, or I'm a pervert, or I'm this, or I'm that, whatever it may be. Let's go, Jenny. You're awesome. You're awesome, yeah. We pushed into B League. I think I got a shield, too. Sometimes you just have to let the ripple of the water end up coming into its place of silence for just a moment. Hey Tina, it's through it we increase in leagues by the amount of diamonds that we get or the points from what people send. So everything is always greatly appreciated because that helps move up in the leagues as well. And the higher the league we are, the more that TikTok will push out the channel to other people. So can you recognize, for those of you that have been on this journey, can you at least recognize at this point that the thoughts aren't just necessarily you, right? That those thoughts aren't you. Those that are on this journey, can you recognize that those thoughts aren't the truth of yourself? Because that's step one. All right, if I were to put this in steps, that's step one. We recognize that all those thoughts are not the truth of yourself, right? Boom. Boom. I don't know if all of you hear that, the bat.
Well, I'm not so sure I want to...
Oh, which one do I want? I want this one.
I know your name. May have stolen the heart from inside you.
So what does the Bible point at? What do these spiritual teachers point at over and over and over again? The awakening of the heart. The connection of the heart. And then when the heart becomes the master over the mind, when the animalistic brain response is no longer the master over you, when these thoughts no longer control you, because they are not the truth of yourself, they have stolen the heart from inside you. The principalities, the evils, the powers of this world, generational curses from parents, from family, from friends, traumas, miseries, and that which you watch on television here in Hollywood, on the news, it has stolen your heart. It has gotten us to focus on fear, on worry, on misery, on pain, on lack and limitation, on vanity, on greed, on lust, on shame, on guilt. And these have become the vast majority of people's world. Rather than encouragement, strength, love, light, unity, oneness, creativity, adventure, awe, wonder, fascination, hope, faith, and the higher light and higher mind. Right? Should be a little better. I turned it up. Alyssa. Alyssa. I can't express my appreciation enough for everybody today. You've been all amazing. The show must go on. Right? The show must go on. So, number one, you're becoming aware. Wait a minute. These thoughts aren't necessarily me. So in that recognition, now this starts to become the separation of, okay, well, who and what am I? What is my true identity if I am not identifying with these thoughts? Oof. That's going to send a lot of you for a tough spin here today. A lot of you might go for a little spin inside when I do this, okay? Okay, so what's the truth of myself then? Who and what am I if I'm not these thoughts? If my identity is not these thoughts? If my identity is not the narrative of these thoughts? Oofta. Oofta, right? Christ talks about the separating of the wheat and the chaff. Let both grow until the day of the harvest. There will be two men in a bed, one will be lifted and one will be left behind. Now, I know a lot of people want the physical rapture, and whether that happens or not, we will see. Nobody knows the day or the hour. However, as long as I am on this planet, I will talk in such a way that I have been told and learned to free human beings. Right? This guy's been designed to free human beings in the way that the understanding has come through. So, we're going to point to the spiritual rapture within. Right? There'll be two men in a bed, one will be lifted and one will be left behind. Now, if you understand the Bible on how it would never put two men in a bed together, it would never do that. It's never going to say one man is going to heaven while they're sleeping together in the physical. It's not going to happen in the Bible. They're not going to talk like that. It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. Right? It has to be. The Bible is not going to put two men in a physical bed together and say one is going to heaven and one is not. It doesn't make any sense. And then he's talking about the separating of the wheat and the chaff. Let both grow together until the day of the harvest. What is being pointed to? We have the lower identity, the lower ego mind, right? We have the animalistic response of the brain, of the mind. And then there's the time when they separate. He says, let both grow. Let them both grow until the day of the harvest. Pure meditation, pure awareness. It watches it. It doesn't fight it. It lets it grow, but it doesn't hate it. It doesn't judge it. It watches it, and it removes itself. It removes the power away from it. And it goes constantly to truth. It goes constantly to God, over and over and over again. The journey of the spiritual awakening inside of yourself, it goes to truth over and over and over again. It says, the world is wrong. These thoughts are not true. These belief systems are not true. This is part of the matrix programming. This is part of the governmental structures. This is part of the media. This is part of social media. This is part of Hollywood. This is part of my parents, whatever it is. And you're constantly separating from that. And then both grow until the day of the harvest, and then boom, the separating of the wheat and the chaff. Now that thinking mind has now surrendered to the heart. Now the truth of your being, the love, light, awareness, and truth of your being of the heart now has conscious control over the thoughts. And now it says, guess what? I am your master. And I will love you and I will take care of you, but you get to work in our favor now. You get to consciously create in things for service for myself and for other people. You no longer will run the same animalistic mind responses and control my being, but we're going to create beautiful things for other people and for myself. And then the mind says, yes, master. And then the mind says, yes, master. Please type that in the chat. Your mind will say, yes, master. Your mind will say, yes, master. Because the truth of yourself, the conscious awareness of the light of Christ, the light of your being, that is the true master inside. Not the thinking thoughts, not the animalistic brain. So that once it surrenders and recognizes the power of that, of the heart, and the mind brain come into pure coherence, your mind will say, yes, master. Now, I don't know if it'll happen, but there's all sorts of people that are having their brain waves tested, right? There's people like Joe Dispenza or Greg Braden, a few others that are doing all these tests on the brain waves, right? To see like what happens after meditation, all this. I don't know if it'll happen, but I would be very curious if somebody ever took this guy. I would like to see what would happen. I would just want to see, just out of curiosity, what the brain waves would look like. What the frequencies would look like, just out of curiosity, right? And then just see what they would say, like, what the heck is this? What is this? Right? I think they did it with Sadhguru. I'm pretty sure they tested Sadhguru's like brainwaves, and they're like, what? This doesn't make sense, right? So understand, there comes a point in time on this journey where the brain and the mind, they surrender into the heart. And they say, you're the true master. Love is the true master. Go ahead and type that in the chat. Love is the true master. Love is the true master. Right? Love is the true master. So if I recognize inside of myself where the actions are coming out of fear, if actions are coming out of worry, out of hate, if actions are coming out of urgency, if actions are coming out of loneliness or despair, if actions are coming out of jealousies, envies, lust, shames, guilts, that is not the master running, right? That is not the master program. Love is the master. Now, do you think the vast majority of the world is acting out of the true master out of love? Do you think the vast majority of the world is acting out of this love right now? So what are we acting out of then? Right? What is the world acting out of then? What is the world acting out of then? Out of fear, deliberate division, greed, lust, envy, vanity, right? Stress and hatred, fear, lack, and apathy, their thoughts, ego. That's right. Beautiful. Mahatma Gandhi says, where there is love, there is life. Where there is love, there is life. Where areas are devoid of love, this is when things get destroyed. It's when there's destruction. This is when there are conflicts. This is when there's division. This is when there's heavy opinions and arguments and hatred and anger and rage and jealousies and envies and judgments and fears, right? But where there is love, there is life. Where there is love, there is life. Rumi says, love is the bridge between you and everything. Love is the bridge between you and everything. I say it like this to a lot of people that get stuck in the mind, in the thinking, and in the thoughts. Your thoughts can only get you so far. I don't care how positive that you think all the time, or how enlightened you are, or whatever it is. I'm so smart, I'm so knowledgeable, I have all this spiritual wisdom. The mind can only get you so far. It will never cross it. The heart crosses the bridge. Love is the bridge between you and everything. Surrender and love crosses the bridge. This is what Christ is talking about when he says, take up your cross and follow me. He does not say, take up your weapon and follow me. He does not say, go fight with a sword. He says, those who take up the sword will be unalived by the sword. He says, take up your cross and follow me. That is surrendering into a depth of love and giving up the ego identity. But even his own disciples turned away from him. Right? And then what does he say? Forgive your enemies. Forgive your enemies. Not try and get revenge, not get an eye for an eye, not try and control or dominate or conquer, but forgive your enemies. What is the most powerful prayer of all time, right? Forgive me my trespasses so I can forgive those who trespass against me, right? When you go into prayer, forgive all others so the Father can forgive you. What is he pointing to? You need a clear heart to receive more. You need a clear heart to receive more. Go ahead and type that in the chat. I need a clear heart to receive more. When you go into prayer, forgive all others so you can be forgiven. Most people will do it the other way around. It's kind of an ego-minded tendency. They'll ask for, forgive me of my sins, or I feel like a terrible sinner, but they never want to forgive others, right? This is where most people are. They'll go into prayer and say, they're a terrible human. Please change them, God, change them. Change the world, change these people, change them. They're all evil, horrible sinners. They're terrible people, whatever it is. And they'll never go into what Jesus actually told them. Forgive all others. So then you can truly be forgiven, right? So we need a clear heart to receive more. Right? We need a clear heart to receive more. And the wound is the place where the light can enter you. This is also what Rumi says. Rumi says the wound is the place where the light can enter you. Understand those deep wounds, those deep traumas, those betrayals, those hate, those hurts, those pains. This is the opportunity for transformation. This is the opportunity for transformation. The wound is the place where the light enters you. There's an opportunity on your spiritual, on your soul path, where the wound either creates more pain, more resentment, more hatred, more hurt, more loneliness, more addiction, whatever it is, or there's a great opportunity to go deeper into the light. The wound is a place where the light can enter you. However, it needs to be looked at, transmuted. This is why one-on-ones with myself are so powerful, right? We take those deep wounds and we bring them into a massive place of empowerment for yourself. We take those deep wounds, those deep pains, and they get transmuted into empowerment, into a great light in your story, where you feel more free, you feel healed, you feel whole, and you're moving in a different way in life. All right, transforming those wounds, not holding on to betrayals, onto loss, onto resentments, onto those pains, right? Let's go, Teresa. What Teresa is mentioning, and a lot of people have been through transformations. I specialize in the mind, in the nervous system, and in the thoughts and beliefs. So if there's something that you feel like you want to look at, if you want your nervous system better regulated, feeling more peace, more calm, more joy in your life, if there's memories or emotions or traumas, or you feel like you have evil spirits or dark witchcraft or whatever it is, sign up on the bottom. They can be very, very highly transformative for your journey. It's all about moving you into a more creative version of yourself, where you can start moving in the world, no longer living in fear, procrastination, worry, doubt, all those things, right? Transforming the mind. Be there transformed by the renewal of the mind. Rumi again. Rumi is incredible at speaking on love. Okay? If you ever want to dive deep into true love, just listen to Rumi. All right? One of the greatest poets of all time and spiritual masters when it comes to love. Your task is not to seek for love. Understand, please. Listen very closely as I say this to you. Listen very, very closely now. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. We seek and find every barrier within ourself that has been built against it. It's not seeking and looking for love in the world. It's not seeking and looking for happiness in objects or things in the world. It's seeking and looking inside of ourselves of all the barriers and walls and cages and chains that we have built against it. This is why I point to the traumas, the pains, the resentments, the betrayals, the loss, the jealousies, the envies, the angers, the frustrations, the rages, the non-forgiveness, the guilts or the shames. These are the walls that have been built against it, against the true self, against the love that you're looking for. The love that you're seeking, the love that you're looking for, the peace, the clarity of mind, the spiritual awakening and the empowerment of spirit, a Holy Spirit, whatever that you're looking for. It's the barriers that we've built against it. The vast majority of these barriers are put inside of you by the world. The vast majority of these barriers are just put inside of you by the world. Through the programming of television, of the news, of the media, of social media, of music, of video games. Whatever your parents told you was passed down from their family and their friends and their experiences, yes? Could you all agree? Whatever your parents taught you and told you was everything that was passed down to them. This is where generational curses come from. Generational curses lay in the DNA, they lay in the cells, and they lay in the neuron programming in the brain. And it's passed down from one generation to the next. Whether it's an immense amount of divorce, of addictions, of lack-limited poverty, of violence, whatever it may be. Passed down from one to the next to the next. So your journey, your job is to seek all the barriers, all these walls that have been put up through your generational family, through your childhood experiences, through your teenage years, especially, that has blocked and put walls up against it. Yeah, generational curse breakers, that's right. Breaking the chains, breaking the shackles. As I pointed to earlier, if you find yourself where your body or your nervous system isn't doing what you want it to do, I want to do that thing, but I'm not doing it. I want to do this, but I can't do it. I feel stuck. I'm procrastinating. I'm in mud. I'm always angry or frustrated. I'm always living in anxiety and fear and worry or in doubt. That is equivalent to being in a prison and having a heavy chain attached to your foot. If you see through a spiritual lens, a spiritual perspective, that is the principalities and the powers of the world having a shackle and a chain attached around your ankle. There's no way you can walk towards the city of light. You got way too much weight on you. This is what it wants you to think. There's no way you can get out of the city of darkness, of misery, of despair, of suffering, of the never-ending hamster wheel. There's no way you can get out of it. There's too much weight. You have too much limitation. You have too many doubts, too many worries, too many fears. You can't get to the city of light. You can't get to freedom. That's the design. Right, that's the design. How many of you have ever felt like you're carrying a heavy weight? How many of you have ever felt like you're carrying a heavy weight, a burden? You can't see this heavy weight physically, right? You can't see the heavy weight physically. It's impossible. Right? We don't recognize or notice the heavy weight physically. Nobody can see it. If they're just looking at you with a physical eye, nobody else can see it. A lot of those times in those one-on-ones with myself, I can see when that burden and when that weight is lifted. All of a sudden their skin starts glowing a little bit more. There's more light to their being. Seeing from a spiritual lens and perspective, their body loosens and relaxes. I feel like weight just came off of me. That's because it did. I feel like I just took off a backpack full of 50 pounds of bricks. That's because you did. You can't see it in the physical. This is soul weight. This is soul weight. This is spiritual weight. This is emotional weight. Yeah. Let's go, Sonia. That's right. So that's because you did. That's why you feel lighter and more free, because you did take off weight. You just can't see it in the physical. So the vast majority of the world right now is carrying around this heavy burden of weight. Most of it doesn't even belong to them. Imagine it like this, where maybe 2 of the 50 bricks actually were because of you in your experience. The other 48 of the 50 bricks is because of things that you're being told, things that you're hearing, the fear of the world, miseries, traumas, pains, over and over. And the world just keeps packing it on and packing it on and packing it on. And that weight, more and more and more and more. or belief systems, right? We got to remove it, right? We got to loose it. What does it say in the Bible? What you bind up on heaven shall be bound in earth. What you loose in heaven shall be loosed on earth, right? We got to loose that heavy weight from you. Loose that heavy weight from you. Relieve you from that backpack. Rumi again. Rumi again. Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray. Can you trust those words? Let yourself be silently drawn to, magnetized to the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray. Can you trust those words? Difficult, right? Trusting in love is a difficult thing for the ego mind to do. It's impossible. The Dalai Lama, love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity will not and cannot survive. The Dalai Lama, love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity will not and cannot survive. Where is humanity going right now? Right? Where is the compassion? Where is the love? Where is the compassion? Where is the love? And the Dalai Lama says humanity will not and cannot survive without them. These are not luxuries. They're necessities. John 4:16. This is words from Christ. God is love. Whoever lives in love lives in God and God in them. Wait a minute, what? Most people are looking at a man in the clouds to go to God, right? God is love. Words from Christ. Whoever lives in love lives in God and God in them. That's unity, that's oneness, that's love is all things. That's unity, that's oneness, that is love is all things. Christ is pointing to the truth. Let me say it again because it's one of the most powerful verses that was ever written or spoken. 1 John 4:16. God is love. Not an image, not a man in the clouds, not a face to be seen. Most people say, I died and saw God or went to heaven. There is no true face. There can be no true face. God is love. Whoever lives in love, in the essence of creation, energy itself of love, lives in God. You're already living in God. Right here, right now. The moment you live in love, you're living in God. And God in them, as God lives in you and through you through love. Most powerful verse you could ever study or figure out or understand from those words. Living in love is living in God and God living in you. Now, the vast majority of Christian churches will not look at it that way. They'll say, no, God is out there. I must pray to a God out there, somewhere in the clouds. God exists in heaven, not here on earth or whatever it is. Jesus, a man in the clouds, right? John 4:7, Beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God. For I tell you, God is the heart of mercy and compassion, right? There's a lot of people in the world right now that are using God to justify their actions of violence, that are using God to justify their actions of split and division, of hate, of casting evil and darkness upon the world. They're saying, I am the chosen ones, right? Or God told me to do it. Or I have Jesus, so I'm allowed to do it. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God. My command is this. My command is this. Let us love one another. Right? Let us love one another that I have loved you. That's not a please do this. That's not a choice even. That's a command. That's a command from God. A command from God. My command is this. Let us love one another that I have loved you. Right? Love each other. That is a command to love each other. That is not an option. That is not a choice. If you want the truth, if you want to be spiritually awakened, if you want empowerment, if you want the love, light, awareness of God, if you want the heavenly kingdom, that is a command to love each other. Now, are the vast majority of people with very prideful religious spirits doing this right now? Or are they looking at others as lower than them? They're carrying more pride or hierarchy or justice. Right? Are we truly loving one another? Or judgment, right? Colossians 3:14, and over all these virtues put on love. Over every single virtue possible, put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. Oh, that's new age. You're new age and you're evil. You must be the devil. You're talking about unity and oneness. And over all these virtues put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. Perfect unity and perfect oneness. I talk about love being the primordial essence of all things. Without love, there is no creation. It's impossible. The grass wouldn't be growing. There'd be no trees. There would be no earth spinning in its perfect orbit. There would be no sun. There would be no light. There would be no water. Your heart would not be beating. There would be no creation itself. Love is the primordial essence. It's the beginning and the end. God commands love and uniting. Unity. God commands oneness of yourself. That is the heavenly kingdom. Christ is asked all the time when he's on the planet, show us, tell us where the kingdom is. He says, for I repent, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's at hand. What does that mean? It's here now. It's at hand. Repent, the kingdom of heaven is now. For I tell you, the kingdom of heaven is within. He's constantly pointing, look, seek, search, find. Knock and the door shall be opened and unto you. Now, what do people in most churches or religion, they read that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. They think, oh yeah, 2,000 years later, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. That's what he's saying. Get ready for 2,500 years later. He's saying it's now. Repent and turn now. The kingdom is here now. It's a command to love each other. He's not saying it's in the future, and he's not saying it's in the past. He's saying it's in the now. For I tell you, the kingdom of heaven is within. If the people of the world tell you it is in the sky, the birds of the sky will precede you. If they're looking into the clouds, guess what? That will dominate your awareness and your experience. If they're looking into the sea, the fish of the sea will precede you. For I tell you, the kingdom of heaven is within. It is within your awareness. Ephesians 3:17 through 19. I have told you these things that you may know the love of the light of Christ that surpasses all knowledge. Surpasses all knowledge. I have told you these things so you will know the love of Christ, the true love that surpasses all knowledge. There's no wisdom, there's no knowledge, there's no amount of the mind that can figure it out. 1 Peter 4:8. Above all, love each other deeply, above all things. Above all things. I don't care if they're a coworker that you hate. I don't care if it's your boss or a child that you're not getting along with, or your husband or your wife. Above all things, love each other deeply. Because love covers over a multitude of sins. Love covers over a multitude of sins. What is that saying? Love is the truth. Love is the true essence of God, of the essence of yourself, and it will shine forth and cover over all those other things. Yeah, that's right. Love is all. So love covers over a multitude of sins. What is a sin in the Bible in truth? If you break it down from the past days, it's missing the mark. It's missing the truth. It's living out of alignment of truth. It's living from an animalistic mind, from a lower ego identity mind, and it's not living through love. That is the truth of a sin. You're just not living through love. So above all, love each other deeply. Love covers a multitude of sins. Jeremiah 31:3. I have loved you with everlasting love, eternal love. I have loved you with eternal love. I have drawn you with unfailing kindness. I have loved you with everlasting love. I have drawn you with unfailing kindness. The master sculptor, the master creator has loved you with an everlasting eternal love. The world will convince you otherwise. The world is going to convince you you're a terrible human being, you're evil, you're bad, you're wrong, you should be ashamed of yourself, you should feel guilty, you should be miserable, you should be lonely, you should be addicted. No, you need to chase your happiness in vanity. You need to chase your happiness in money. You need to chase your love in these other things. It exists in the ever-present. This is where true freedom exists. Eckhart Tolle. For those of you who know Eckhart Tolle, love is the recognition of oneness in the world of duality. So as I pointed to, many of the teachings of Christ points to oneness. Bible and churches won't agree. They'll hate me. They'll say I'm evil. They'll say I am the devil, or I'm speaking New Age. It's the truth of what Christ is pointing to. Love is the recognition of oneness in the world of duality, in the world of split and division, of the world of looking at everybody as evil or wrong or bad. Love is the recognition of oneness in the world of duality. Eckhart Tolle also says, to love is to recognize yourself in another. To love is to recognize yourself in another. Why? How is this possible? To love is to recognize yourself in another. God is love. Whoever lives in love lives in God and God in them. Meaning, if you're living in love, if you're living in God, that same God is no separate than the same one in somebody else. How is there any difference? That God in you is no different than the God in me. That love in me is no different than that love in you. How can there be any separation? How can there be any divide? How can there be any difference there? Rumi, love is the whole thing. We are only the pieces. Love is the whole thing, and we are only the pieces. Love is to recognize yourself in another, and love is the whole thing. We are only the pieces. Can you allow your puzzle piece to be put back together right now? Can you allow your puzzle piece to be put right back together right now? When we are truly in love, which would be equivalent to the Bible saying if we're truly in God, we are guided by the heart and not the mind. When we are truly in love, we are guided by the heart and not the mind. Excuse me. When we're truly in love, we are guided by the heart and not the mind. Thank you. Noticing the automatic happenings, right? I always know that's going to happen regardless. If I ever sneeze, people will say bless you regardless. I appreciate you. Right? When we're truly in love, we are guided by the heart and not the mind. Is the heart leading your path? Is the heart leading your path? Is God leading your path? Or is it the thinking mind? Is it the judging mind? Is it the mind living in lack, limitation, or fear? Is it the mind living in jealousy or envy? Is it the mind living in shame or guilt? Or is the heart leading your path? First Corinthians 13, 4 through 7, many people of the world have forgotten. Many people of the world have forgotten, right? Love is patient, love is kind. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always preserves. Or perseveres. Right? So, many people think that love is attachment now. I love my coffee, I love my dog, I love my boyfriend for a year or two, and then it's gone. Love is an essence. It is a virtue. It is a freedom. It is an energy. It is not an attachment to a physical object. This is what the mind has confused itself through the media, through social media, through magazines, through the way that vanity and greed, right? I love my car. I love this. I love that. That is not true love. Love is a virtue, and love is the nature itself, right? Love is patience, it is kind, it always protects, it always trusts, it is eternal and unconditional, it always hopes and always perseveres. It is a higher mind, it is a connection to a source. That is true love. It is a connection to truth, not to an object, not to money, not to the physical, not to a home, not to a car. You can give those things love, but that is not where it derives from. There's a much different thing of saying, I'm appreciative and I'm loving this thing. I love this thing, as you're the one giving it love, not it giving you. Anybody understand the difference? Type a 1 in the chat if you just got a light bulb. Type a 1 in the chat if you just got a light bulb. You can give it love and be appreciative and grateful for it. You're giving it the essence of love, not it giving you love. So this is where the never-ending chase happens for most people. I derive my happiness and my love from that thing. I need this, this, and this in my life, or I'm not going to feel love or happiness. You see this with some very large social media influencers now. They're kind of falling off the deep end emotionally. You see it. They're constantly changing their physical look. They're constantly doing new things to their body. They're constantly buying all sorts of new things because they're in the end stages of this chase for happiness, for vanity. They have millions and millions of followers. They make so much money they don't know what to do with. And they've chased that for their happiness, for their joy, for their love. And now they're in those end stages of buying all sorts of things, and they can't get that void filled any longer. No longer can the void be filled. Why? Because they've bought so many things already. I need another Lamborghini. I need another mansion. I need more surgery done. I need to change my hair a different color now. I need to change my eyebrows. I need to change more piercings. They're constantly doing something to their physical appearance, or they're constantly doing something with physical manifestations in their life as far as buying things. Because this is what the mind has attached itself to for the happiness, for the joy, and the void cannot be filled. They're in constant search for happiness, for love and joy. And this is why when you watch them, you'll be able to tell with a great discernment, they're not truly happy, they're pretending. You'll be able to see the pretend face. It's an ego pretend face that gets put on. Look at how amazing my life is. I'm so happy. Look at how amazing, how happy I am. Right? It's over and over and over again. You see this over and over and over again on social media. Why? Why do people have to flaunt how happy they are? Why do people have to flaunt how happy they are? Why do people have to try and prove over and over and over again, look at how happy I am. Look at how joyful I am. Look at how much joy this money has brought me. Look at how much happiness this money has brought me. Look at how much love this money has brought me. And it's trying to prove it over and over and over and over again. One video after another of look at how happy I am, look at how happy I am, look at how happy I am, look at me, over and over and over again. It's a fake false mask, you guys. It's a fake false mask. The best way I can explain this is people who are a bit older, who have, a lot of people call it old man money or old people money. I'm sure you've heard that before. They have old people money. Who in here has ever heard that? Oh, they have old people money, right? So they built a business, or they invested many years ago, and now they have a big stockpile of funds. They're very well off. They don't flaunt it. A lot of times they're driving older vehicles or living in normal homes or whatever. And they have millions and millions of dollars. Because their happiness isn't being derived from it. Their joy and their love isn't being derived from it. Most of those people worked harder when they were younger. They built businesses, created. They've lived their life. Social media is flooded with misery and suffering right now. And people who have these fake false masks on. You're going to see it more and more and more. Now, I'm not here to curse them in any way. I'm just saying how truth unfolds. Because if someone is very disconnected from the truth, from light, they're creating a karmic bond for themselves, a pattern that they will be met with. That's just the truth of universal laws, okay? So I'm not cursing them, I'm blessing them. I am blessing them to find truth and love and light. But they're going to be met with these cycles in their life where you're going to see many of them fall apart. Because social media it's in its infancy. All right, it's in its infancy stages. Those that have become big on TikTok have only been around for 5 to 10 years. Right? Those that have come into millions of dollars through greed and vanity and lust have only been around for 5 to 10 years on social media, on TikTok. So you'll start to see the opposite end of that coin. You'll be able to see certain influencers or creators where you're going, what is going on with them? There's something going on with them. I can't quite put my finger on it, but they seem like they're losing it a little bit. How many of you have ever noticed that? Well, some of the people that have 1 million plus followers, have you ever realized like something's going on, something's off? If you're following people that have millions of followers and make tons of money, millions of dollars, or living in a massive amount of vanity, where it's constantly, look at my amazing this, look at my amazing this, look at how happy I am, look at my beautiful life, look at this, over and over and over again, right? You'll start to notice something is happening inside of a lot of them. This happens to a lot of celebrities. They're a big celebrity for 5, 10 years, 20 years sometimes. And then they go through the stages of the Robin Williams, the Tom Brady, the guy from Friends, right? Where there's that void, that emptiness, right? Yeah. There's the burnout. Matthew Perry, yeah, that's right. There's a lot of the Elvis, right? Elvis was the best way to explain it. Every woman in America wanted to be with Elvis. Almost every woman in America at the time wanted to be with Elvis. He was the model of perfection in the world, pretty much, for women. He had all the money, he had all the fame, he had all the fortune. He had everything any human being would ever desire or want. And we know how that ended, right? So I'm not here to curse other social media influencers. I'm here to expose the truth so that many of them will actually seek it. Most won't. Most will not do it. Most will continue to live in their belief systems, in their mind, in their ways, in their pride, in their ego, in their arrogance, and in their vanity. That is what most people are going to do. They're not going to turn. It's just not going to happen. This is why Christ says it's easier for a camel to fit through an eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get into heaven. Not because money itself is evil, it's because that person has derived so much happiness, so much joy, so much faith in the money itself. This is their reward system. This is where they think they're going to get love. It's where they're going to get attention. It's where they're going to get everything, right? That's why it's so difficult for a rich man to get into heaven, not because money is in itself evil. It's because all of the happiness has been derived from that place. This is why generally people who have old money are in much better situations emotionally, spiritually, because they're not just deriving their joy and happiness from it. They created it, they enjoy it, right? And they went through it. But it wasn't this massive fame boost. It wasn't this big fame boost, right? It's an ego pride thing. I need to be so popular. I need to be so big in this public eye. And this is where a lot of people in Hollywood talk about selling their souls. A lot of people in Hollywood have come out recently and told about, yeah, Hollywood made me sign these contracts. I did a blood contract or whatever. And they promised me all this money, all these things, all this fame, all this fortune if I just follow what they say, if I just do what they say. Yeah, all sorts of people have come out talking about it. Why? Because media programs. There's no way around it. You cannot listen to something or watch something without being programmed. It's impossible. This is why I tell you, be so careful with what you watch on television, in movies, or what you listen to for music, or the news that you watch. It's all going to cause you to feel certain ways, to think certain ways, without you being able to control it. In the Bible, it warns of that many, many times. The devil owns this world. That's the way it is. Right? It says the devil will own the world. What is that? That's the lower ego identity mind. Vanity, greeds, lusts, loneliness, despairs, angers, frustrations, those are going to own the world. Need happier country music. That's right, because I point to a lot of country music is programmed in the same way. I lost my wife last year. She left me for a more attractive man, and now I'm sitting by the fishing hole, and I'm miserable for the rest of my life drinking a beer. Right? I used to be so happy, but that was 4 years ago, and now I'm just a lonely soul. That's a lot of country music. A lot of it's programmed in that way. Not all of it, but a lot of it. And if you pay close attention, you'll definitely recognize what I'm saying. Guess what? Heavy metal. What do you think it's all programmed for? Anger, rage, frustration. Anger, rage, frustration. And now there's a lot of people who are Christians that are trying to convince themselves, oh, this is good Christian music in this heavy metal because it is got these nice lyrics that talk about Jesus or God. I love God. I love Jesus. So it's good Christian music because it's heavy metal Jesus, right? It is the frequency that is emanating in the field of energy, okay? The riffs are angry, exactly. Jesus! Right? It's okay, so when I do it, you can see. Your eyes can open for a moment when I do it. But a lot of Christians have convinced themselves of this, okay? A lot of a lot of Christians have convinced themselves that this is godly music because of the words, because of the lyrics. All right? Or no, this is my Christian rap that still talks about shaking butts and showing your skin on TV and whatever. It's just funny, okay? It's just funny how people have convinced themselves. The ego mind has tricked itself. It's all about the energy. It's all about the frequency, okay? It most of the time it has nothing to do with the words. A lot of times it has nothing to do with the lyrics of the words. Pay very close attention if it's full of love, if it's full of peace. Because this is the emanation of the actions. If it's full of love, if it's full of peace, if it's full of joy, if it's full of upliftment, right? There's some songs that are full of nothing but worship and praise, and they're very, very uplifting. You will feel nothing. You'll feel all the cells in your body glowing and sparkling and feeling liberated. Wow, right? Yeah, and there's a lot of Christian music that's designed to make you feel shame or guilt or sad or lonely, all sorts of things. Right? So pay attention to the frequency. Pay attention to the tune itself, not just the lyrics. And just because someone says this is Christian music does not mean that it's serving you. Does not mean it's serving your being. Oh, but I talk about Jesus in this song. So what? So does the devil. So do demons. They talk about Jesus all the time. So what? Good luck, right? I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you for mentioning the word Jesus. That's what's so funny is people that think that they say the word Jesus are all of a sudden holy or Christian or all of a sudden saved because they're able to say the word Jesus. That's like 5 billion people on the planet right now. It's like 5 billion people on the planet right now. He says, wide is the path to death and destruction, narrow is the road to life, and few will find it. He doesn't say the world will find it. He doesn't say 4 billion people will find it. He says few. Few will find it. And even fewer than that will choose to walk it. So few will find the narrow road and path to life, and then even less than that will choose to walk in it. Right? So you're narrowing it way down and then narrowing it way down even more. And then 4 or 5 billion people out of the 8 billion on the people on the planet right now say, I love Jesus. I'm saved. I'm good. I have to do nothing. I have to change nothing. I don't have to look at my own emotions, my own actions, my own mind. I don't need to dive deep within. I don't need to meditate or anything or I'm not going to pay attention to any of the other words in the Bible. None of them. It's just very silly. How do people not see the silliness of this? Colossians 3:2. Set your mind on things above, not on earthly things. Set your mind on things above, not on earthly things. I speak on the 7 divine frequencies: peace, love, joy, harmony, health, wealth, and money, right? Having a higher frequency in your field of energy. Having a higher frequency in your field of energy. Having a heavenly kingdom flow through your being. Not a hellish kingdom. Many people are pretending. Many people pretend, I'm so holy, I'm so righteous. I have Jesus, I have God. But then they're always judging. They're living in hatred. They're living in jealousy or envy or shame or guilt or whatever it may be. It's a lying. It's a deceiving oneself. All right, there's a deceit going on inside of oneself. It says, live in love. Live in love, in perfect unity. Love all brothers and sisters as yourself. Forgive all others. Forgive your enemies. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Take up your cross and follow me. Every single word. Every single word that Christ has ever said is all about love and unity and oneness. All of it. The same thing with the Buddha. All about love, unity, and oneness. Every single word. Marcus Aurelius, you have power over your mind, not outside events. So the power over your mind comes with the awakening of the heart, with spiritual empowerment. This is when you're able to tell your mind, thoughts, you take the back seat. The heart's going to drive the show right now. Spirit's going to drive the show. And when I use your thoughts, you're going to create for my good. So we don't have power on outside events. Are you willing to give up what you cannot control? Are you willing to give up what you cannot control? I can speak like this as powerful as possible, and it's not going to change the media. It's not going to change Hollywood. It's not going to change the government. Very few people will listen, right? There's 400 million people in the world. There's 92 of you in here right now. You're all blessed, amazing souls. You're all blessed, amazing, incredible souls that are on an amazing journey for freedom, and you're feeling it to an immensity. But it doesn't matter how powerful these words are. It doesn't matter how strong I talk or how often I talk. It's not going to change Hollywood. It's not going to change the governments. It's not going to change the people that are stuck in those cycles. They're not coming out of it. So I must release the need to feel that I need to control those things. I don't have power over those outside events. There's too many moving parts. There's too many people that are sucked into the system. There's too many people that are emotionally drained. There's too many people that are living in darkness. There's too many people that are living by lust or addictions, right? Or living by fear or living by vanity. It's just, they're not going to snap out of it. It's not going to happen. And that's okay. They're all on their own journey, their perfect divine timing journey, right? A lot of you are worried about your friends or your family or whoever it is. Can you fall into that there's a greater calling over their being and that they're going on a massive journey? Can you trust in their journey, no matter how it ends? No matter how their journey ends, can you trust in it? In the same way, a higher source has looked over your life and brought you here, yes? Can you agree there's a higher source, there's a higher energy that has brought you on your path here? In a very same way, there's a higher source, there's a higher light energy that is guiding their path as well, even if we can't understand it. So how does Christ say this? Right? He doesn't say do nothing, and he doesn't say don't try and free them. He never says that. He says bind up the brokenhearted and free my slaves, right? Bind up the brokenhearted, free my slaves and captives. So if they're of me and they can hear you, you free them. If they have an open heart, if they have an open mind, if they're willing to fall into this, you go free them. You bind up the brokenhearted and you free them, right? He also says go into the world, spread the good news. Spread the good news, right? But if they do not accept you at their door, you brush your feet and you move onward. Now that's very difficult for a lot of people to do. No, they need to understand this. No, they need to change. No, they need to transform. No, I need to argue with them. No, I need to prove a point. You dust your feet and you move onward. Their soil is not ready. So if you've ever shared something like this with a loved one where you're like, well, I care about them. I care about them. I want them to change. I don't want them to be addicted anymore. I'm telling them they have a problem. They need to, right? You shake and dust your feet and you keep moving onward. Why? Because there's a lot of people who can hear the words and they just haven't yet. There's a lot of people who are open in mind and free in heart. There's a lot of people who can hear the word oneness or love or unity and deeper within their soul goes, yeah, there's something really good that feeling there. I want to hear more about this. What do you mean unity, love, oneness? I want to hear more about that. I want to hear more about that. What do you mean? And then there's a deeper calling inside of themselves where they will go deeper into it. But those who reject the words of peace, the words of love, unity, oneness, you dust your feet and you move onward. Those who reject forgiveness, grace, you dust your feet and you move onward. Light bulb, let's go, hey. That's right. Why? Because the veils are too thick. The unconscious patterns and that which they are going to live by in their soul karmic response, it's too thick. They're not going to hear it. There's too many weeds, roots, thorns in the way. So you can argue with them all you want. You can be opinionated with them all you want. You can try and convince them all you want. They have to come to their own place of recognition. Please type that in the chat. They have to come to their own place of recognition. The light awakens from inside, not from the outside, right? They have to come to their own place of recognition. They have to come to their own place of recognition. That's right. If I am sleepwalking, it's not until I wake up that I recognize. It's not until I wake up that I recognize that I was sleepwalking. You can't convince somebody else that they're sleepwalking while they're doing it. You cannot convince somebody else that they're sleepwalking while they're doing it. This is why you're going to have conversations with people in the world where you're going to be like, how are we not even communicating right now? You're going to be confused. How will you not listen to my words for 1 minute? Right? You don't have an open mind at all? Nope, I don't want to listen to what you have to say. You can't even listen for 1 minute to what I have to say? Nope. This is what I believe and you can't tell me any otherwise. You're going to meet a lot of people like that in the near future, okay? I promise you. I promise you, you're going to meet a lot of people in the near future like that. Where you'll be talking to them and they'll say, I don't believe that, I can't listen to you, right? What? You can't have an open mind, just listen for 1 minute? I can't have an opinion? Nope, I don't believe that, and I don't want to talk about it, or whatever it is. They'll be completely closed. Completely closed. You just gotta love them anyway. All right. And then Wayne Dyer, you'll see it when you believe it. Let's move back into conscious creation a little bit here. Let's move back into conscious creation a little bit. You'll see it when you believe it. Yeah, love mom anyway, exactly. Right there with you, Marissa. Right there with you. Love mom anyway. Mom ain't changing. As much as there's a try, there's an effort. As much as the words try and go in, as much as light tries to get exposed, mom ain't changing. Right? So I'm going to love her anyway. It's my opportunity to break that generational curse. It's my opportunity to show compassion and love anyway. Right? Instead of get heated, argued, whatever. That's going to happen for a lot of you. No matter how much you change, no matter what you say, what you do, your parents may not, right? Their programming is set. Their belief systems are set. The way they talk, the way they act, the way they feel is set. And ain't nobody changing that. That is pride, that's arrogance, that's ego, that's ignorance. However, ain't nobody changing that. Ain't nobody changing the way they see God. Ain't nobody changing the way they see life. Let's see. This is Sinfonia. Sinfonia, if you want to type that in. This is not an Abundance Gang song. This is just classical music from composers. This is Sinfonia. Sinfonia. Yeah. Yep. From 1738. All right, this is from the year 1738. Sinfonia. Excellent. Wonderful. Powerful Freedom Friday. We're going to move into those activations and affirmations, all right? I know I babbled on for a long time, but it was for a reason. It was very, very, very necessary and very powerful. How many of you had something go, whoa, what the heck's going on? I'm sure a lot of you had a powerful day. Excellent. We're going to move into those activations, affirmations. Who knows what time it is? Who knows what time it is? Let's go. Let's go. This is your Freedom Friday, right? This is your Freedom Friday. Let's go, Celeste. Let's go, Marissa. Let's go, Pookie.
You just gotta keep living, man. Livin.
You just gotta keep living. Right? So this is where I speak on be very consciously aware of the movies that you watch in Hollywood or of what you listen to, because they are always programming. There are certain Pixar movies, there's certain movies that are amazing for your spiritual journey, for awakening, for bringing you more joy or happiness. Use them to your advantage. But then there's lots that are just very destructive. They're just there to cast more fear into you, more doubt, more worries, more depression, whatever it is, more loneliness. Oh, that was such a tearjerker, right? The tearjerkers. That was such a tearjerker. Now I'm so sad. Pay attention to what a movie is designed to do to you. All right, pay attention to how a movie is designed, what it's designed to do to you. I don't want to do anything anymore. I just want to lay in bed and cry because that was such a tearjerker. Now I just feel sad and lonely. Oh, that was so scary. That movie was so scary. I'm afraid to even go out on the street now. What if that's real? What if that's true? Right? Pay attention to what movies do to you and how they are affecting your emotional states and how most of the time they're destroying your experience. You think you love them, but they're actually destroying your mind in a lot of ways. All right? Just pay close attention when you watch them. Is it serving you or not serving you? All right, let's go. Let's go. I will create a list here soon. I think I'm going to create a list, either a list or an ebook or a blog on movies and their impact on certain ones. So depending on where you're at in your journey, there are certain spiritual movies that you wouldn't even recognize right now. For example, when I talk about The Lion King, or when I talk about Inside Out, stuff like that, right? And I'll make like a list of movies that have a massive impact on your spiritual journey, on your mind, or on your emotions. Would you like me to do that? Who in here would like me to do that? Anybody? Okay. Because there's certain ones that play a certain role depending on where you're at. Okay, there's certain movies that play a certain role depending on where you're at. For example, The Matrix is only going to play a certain role if somebody is ready to hear it. If somebody's ready to hear it. So it's just depending where you're at. Or The Pursuit of Happiness. If somebody is really struggling with money a lot, that movie can play a big role for their journey. Right? If somebody's struggling with their inner child, right, The Little Prince, if somebody's struggling with emotions, Inside Out, like there's all sorts of movies that point to a lot of things. And then there's the big ones that you guys have probably never even heard about. There's the big spiritual awakening movies that you probably have never heard about, which I will point to in the future or into one-on-ones for people that will serve a greater impact. Excellent.
You He's got to keep living, man. Livin.
Livin. Let's move into your activations and affirmation wake up. Your most powerful way to wake up in the world. In your TikTok live Friday, moving this into your Saturday and Sunday over the weekend. Very happy and grateful to be here with all of you today. I am so appreciative for all of you today. Jenny, I don't know if you're in here any longer. Jenny might have went to work or moved on, but that was the first uni that the channel has received, the first universe, and I will end up posting that. That was awesome. Thank you so much. All right, so being energized for the day. Being energized for the day. These are fresh, uplifting, and gently motivating. Right? Fresh, uplifting, and gently motivating. If you wish to receive these, say them in the I am statement afterwards, as we're always living from some sort of state of consciousness, right? Some sort of state of consciousness. I am happy, I'm hungry, I'm tired, I'm joyful, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm driving, whatever it may be, right? You're waking up refreshed and ready to receive. I wake up refreshed and ready to receive. Do not let the heart steal your world. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Sonia. Have a blessed day. You're waking up refreshed and ready to receive. Have a blessed day, Sonia. Waking up refreshed and ready to receive. Let's go. You are renewed, recharged, and revitalized. Feeling yourself renewed, recharged, and revitalized. Renewed, recharged, revitalized. Renewed, recharged, revitalized. Let's go. Let's go, everybody. Let's go, let's go. Renewed, recharged, revitalized. All the re's, right? Renewed, recharged, revitalized. Where's that energy coming from? Where does it exist in the ever-present moment right here, right now? Your energy attracts everything that you need. Your energy attracts everything that you need, bringing life back into the world, into your experience. You're more than what you've become. You must take your place in the circle of life. Your energy attracts everything that you need, bringing life back into purpose. Bringing life back into your body, into your mind, into your purpose, into your movement. Yeah, let's go. You're breathing in clarity and breathing out fatigue. You're breathing in clarity and breathing out fatigue. Breathe in clarity with every single breath and breathe out fatigue. Breathe in clarity, breathe out fatigue. Allowing fatigue to leave you and breathing in clarity and focus of mind. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We're number 29 in B5. We're getting close to B4. We're getting close to B4. We're getting there. Jesse, let's go. We're number 28 in B5 now. See, we just moved up one number. Your body moves with ease and with purpose. Your body moves with ease and with purpose. Let's go, Tiff. Let's go. Let's go, Tiff. Your body moves with ease and with purpose. Your body moves with ease and with purpose. Thank you, Celeste. We're getting real close on the prosperity smiles. Put on your prosperity smiles. Your body moves with ease and with purpose. Allow your body to move with ease and with purpose. And welcome this day with new excitement. Welcome this day with a new excitement. Let's go, Denise and Tiff. You're all such a blessing. Thank you so much. We'll end this Friday in a very powerful way, right? We'll end the Friday in a very powerful way. I do plan on being on tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday evening, for the higher consciousness talks, for the awakening talks. They're very specialized for the spiritual journey. They're quite a bit different, right? So if you wish to find yourself in there, that's 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's go, brother. Good to see you, Aaron. Let's go, brother. Thank you, hey. I'm surprised it didn't jump up to 27. You've all been smashing. You've all been smashing. So 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday and Sunday evening for those higher consciousness talks. If you wish to be in there for those awakening talks, those are specialized, a little bit different, and they're more interactive where I allow other people to come up and talk as well. Excellent. You're welcoming this day with new excitement. Welcome this day with a new excitement. Welcome this day with new excitement. Let's go, Zoomy. Zoomy with the hand heart. Zoomy with the hand heart. Denise. Let's go, Denise. Let's go, Denise. Welcoming this day with a new 4 confettis. Jeez, Denise, thank you. Let's go. You're welcoming this day with a new excitement. You are all just blowing it up today. Look at the conductor. So much fun. You've all been incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're welcoming this day with a new excitement. That's what the child does, right? The child welcomes the day with new excitement. Looks at the day as, I'm going to learn today. I'm going to have fun. Who knows what it's going to bring? Who knows what it's going to bring? Who knows what it's going to bring? What happens to a lot of people in the adult mind? They're worried about what's going to happen in the day. What's going to happen today, right? Another day to just struggle and make it by. That is not the child. That is not the child. Another day to just struggle through the misery, right? That is not the child. The child welcomes this day with a new excitement. That's what I say about 7, 8-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds old who are being programmed with all of this fear of the end of the world right now. They're like, I just got here. I just got here. What? Right? And then all of these religion and churches and things telling them, well, there's no point to your life because it's just coming to an end right now anyway. Jesus is coming back tomorrow, so why do you even care? And they're like, I'm 5 years old. I just want to enjoy life. What are you doing to me? These poor children growing up in all these churches. All right. There's no point to your life. I'm 6 years old. What? You're grounded, present, and powerful. You are grounded, present, and powerful. You are grounded, present, and powerful. You are grounded, present, and powerful. Feel yourself grounded, present, and powerful. Allowing your heart to lead the way. Let's go, Christina. That's right. Where the heart gains control over the mind, right? Where the mind starts to say, you are my master. Yes, master. Where your thoughts start to say, yes, master. Where your heart says, this is my guide. This is my lead. Right? This is my guide. This is my lead. That's right. You are grounded, present, and powerful. Every single breath fills you with strength and with light. Every single breath fills you with strength and with light. Every single breath fills you with strength and with light. Every single breath fills you with strength and with light. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Excellent. Feeling aligned. Let's do feeling aligned next for your Saturday and for your Sunday and for your wonderful Friday here. Feeling aligned. Inner peace, spiritual grounding, and flow. Inner peace, spiritual grounding, and flow. You're in perfect alignment with that flow today. Feel yourself in perfect alignment with that flow today. You are in perfect alignment with that flow, with that divine flow. Let's go. You're in perfect alignment with that flow today. Mind, body, and soul moving in harmony, right? Mind, heart, and soul moving together. This is when the nervous system becomes regulated, right? Nervous system becomes regulated. For those who aren't aware, I'm a master in hypnotherapy and neurolinguistic programming. My journey and what I specialize in is creating more freedom inside of yourself. Emotional freedom, freedom of thoughts and mind, right? Helping you overcome certain beliefs, certain patterns, certain emotions, that feeling of stuckness, of grieving, of pain, right? Depressions, anxieties, fears, worries. If you feel called to work with a one-on-one FaceTime with myself, if you're looking for the enhancement of that freedom journey, go ahead and fill out the link on the bottom. Just say I want to know about your one-on-one FaceTimes, and I will send you the details. And you can decide if it's right for you there. Let's go. Let's go. Excellent. I also have a free ebook for everyone who's interested. If you haven't got that ebook yet, it makes you a deeper part of the community. It is free for you. You'll have access to the blog, to the emails, and then that free ebook as well. So this is all the journey on the transformation into a more abundant version of yourself. More peace, more love, more joy, more harmony in your body and mind, making more money, having more health, right? All of the beautiful things of the overflow of the kingdom. Excellent. Boom. Can you all hear that when we achieve the gift goal, or when we achieve a goal? Can you hear that when we achieve a goal? Let's go, Denise, with the galaxy. Let's go, Denise, with the galaxy. Yes, you can. Oh, wow. How did that not move us up into 27? What's going on? Must just be lagging behind. You're awesome. Your mind, body, and spirit are in harmony. Feel your mind, body, and spirit in harmony. Thank you, Denise. You're a blessing. Thank you, Denise. Feeling your mind, body, and spirit in harmony. All moving together as one unit. All moving together as one unit. What I say the most powerful energy in all of existence is love. Right? The most powerful energy in all of existence is love. For I tell you, if you live in love, you live in God, and God lives in you. Right? Yeah, it's like the clapping, and it almost sounds like a baseball stadium. Like, yeah! Right? Can you all hear that when that happens? When a goal is met and it goes, bah! Like all the cheering. I love it for the morning lives, but the nighttime lives, I have to be careful. The nighttime lives, I gotta be careful when those get hit, because it might snap somebody out of a deep sleep. Trust the timing in your life. Yeah, trust the timing in your life. Trust the timing in your life.
Well, I'm not so sure I want to grow up anymore.
Growing up is not the problem. Forgetting is.
Trust the timing in your life. Right? Can you trust that there's a special plan for you? Deeply and intuitively, you feel that inside of yourself. You can't quite explain it. Anybody can hear my voice. You can't quite explain it, but you know there's a special plan made for you. You just know. You can't explain it, but you just know. And trust in that divine timing. That doesn't mean that you don't take action, right? It still means you take action, but you trust that the action that you're taking is the unfolding of that perfect plan. Let me say that again. The action that you're taking is the unfolding of that perfect plan. So trust the plan in your life. Yeah? You can't quite explain it. And I know you know what I'm talking about. I know that you know what I'm talking about. Why? Because this is intuition. It is a connection that you can't explain. The mind can't explain it. That's happened a lot of times in this guy's life, and I couldn't explain it when I was younger. I would just say, this is going to happen. And people would say, what do you mean this is going to happen? I'd say, I just know. Now, what do you mean you know? I just know. Right? That person over there that is looking over here, they're going to come talk to us. I just know. How do you know? I just know. And then 5-10 minutes later, they do it or something. It happened a lot. Or in poker, I would look at someone and be like, I know that they're going to lose all their money and it's only going to be an hour or something. How do you know? I just know. My intuition knows that they're going to lose all their money in an hour. Hour later, they're broke and they're miserable and they're crying and they're walking away or whatever. Like, it happened over and over and over again. So your intuition is far more powerful than what you realize. Yeah. You feel calm, centered, and connected. Feel calm, feel centered, and connected. Feel calm, centered, and connected. Calm, centered, and connected. The more calm you feel, the more centered you are and more connected you are, those universal laws will just be working through you. Right? Those universal laws will just be working through you. This is where you get that intuitive hit of, I just know, because you're watching universal laws unfold. You're just watching universal laws unfold. That's where that inner knowing comes from. It's like karma is just playing itself out. I don't need to curse them. I don't need to hope that something bad happens to them. It's just a knowing. You're just watching the law play itself out. Right? You're walking in sync with the universe. Walk in sync with the energy of the all. Walk in sync with the universe, right? Walk in sync with the energy. Walking in sync. Who in here remembers that band, that boy band, In Sync? Who in here remembers the boy band In Sync? Let's go, Denise. Let's go, Denise. I can't really remember their songs, I don't think, but... You're walking in sync. Right? Walking in sync. Liam. Your energy is clear and your path is aligned. Your energy is clear and your path is aligned. Back streets back, alright. That's like the only song I think I remember from them. I'm sure if I heard other ones I would know, but... Your energy is clear and your path is aligned. Your energy is clear and your path is aligned. Let's go. Let's go. Your energy is clear and your path is aligned. You're allowing life to guide you gently. You're allowing life to guide you gently. Allow life to guide you gently. Allow life to guide you gently. Just allow life to guide you gently. Allow life to guide you gently. Beautiful. And peace is your natural state of being. Allow peace to be that natural state of being. Just allowing peace to be your natural state of being. Allow peace to be your natural state of being. Let's go. Bum 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 bum. Let's go, everybody. Allowing peace to be your natural state of being. That's right. That's right. That's right. I think a little bit later on today, so I ordered a new 3-month supply of that tooth stuff for toothpaste I've been using. So I told you all my teeth used to be in bad shape, really, really bad shape. I've had a lot of people ask me about it, and I get compliments now on my teeth, which didn't happen for a long time. Did not happen for a long time because I struggled with so much illness and disease and many different diets and fasting and all sorts of things. Right? So my teeth are in much, much better shape. After going to the dentist, after not going for almost like 10 years, no cavities, no nothing. The fillings are, the cracks that were broken in the teeth filled back in. The enamel's been regrowing. And my teeth are in far better shape. They used to hurt, and everything I bit into, they were falling apart. They were cracking and chipping. I would wake up with pieces of my teeth in my mouth when I would wake up in the morning. there would be another tooth broken off, a piece broken off, right? And I'd be like, uh-oh, right? My teeth are going to all fall out. But understand, my body was in a place of complete destruction. So I was down to like 95 pounds. I was out the door, right? So, yeah. So I'm going to post a video today, a little bit later today. Keep a lookout if you're looking for it. I just bought a new 3-month supply, so I'm able to show it again because I ran out. But I just got my new 3-month supply, and they're the little tablet forms, right? But they've I use 2 different products. I use a powder and the one. So if any of you need help with your teeth, it's made a massive difference for me. So I'm going to post that video today. I will get a small commission for it, but it's not a huge deal. But it's going to cost you the same regardless. So I'm going to post that video later if you're interested in it, right? Yeah, so a lot of people have had dental issues. That's America, right? With the sugar and carbs that we eat, and dentists make a lot of money. They make a lot of money for good reason, because our teeth are falling out and we got holes everywhere and all sorts of things, right? So I was blown away when I went to the dentist, and I was like, oh, how many cavities do I have? This is going to be bad. And they're like, you don't have any. I don't have any? I haven't been to the dentist in 10 years and all my teeth are falling apart. You don't have a single one. Wow. Right? That's awesome. So not only has the spiritual journey done a lot as well, right? The life flowing through, the higher mind flowing through, that has created life and nutrients to be able to fill back in. But I think the 2 products that I've been using have made a massive difference. My teeth used to be like pure yellow as well. They were not good looking. So they were falling apart, enamel broken down, chipping apart, and not in good shape. So it's made a massive difference. I think that tooth products have come a long way in the last like 5 to 10 years. Yeah, I'm using the tablets also, right? They're just far, far better. I used to spend whatever I could on tooth products in the stores at Target or Walmart, and I could never find anything that worked. I can never find anything that worked for my teeth. It was just like, I mean, it was toothpaste, but it never really made a difference. It would say whitening on it. It would never really whiten them that much. And then any of the whitening strips I used, it would just break down my enamel and it would destroy my teeth, or it would make my gums super sensitive. Like everything that I tried, it was just like destructive. So yeah. So if anybody is looking for a much better quality and to help your teeth out, I'll post that video later today. Okay, just keep a lookout for it. Excellent. And if you do purchase it through it, I'll get a small commission for it, but it would cost you the same regardless. So it won't matter. Might as well benefit from it a little bit. Put it towards the channel. Okay, excellent. Let's continue onward. I just needed to mention that because I was getting that message. I've had a lot of people ask me about teeth. It'll be on the channel. It'll be on the Abundance Gang channel. I'll post it later today, okay? So keep a lookout for it in a couple hours. I'll probably do it in like 3 hours after I'm done with the one-on-ones. Once my one-on-ones are complete for the day, I'll just do it then. So look for it in like 3 hours, 4 hours maybe. Yeah. And there's 2 different products that I use. I'm gonna post the everyday toothpaste product first. All right. Here. Let's do letting go of stress. Just do letting go of stress next, okay? The massive impact that it can have upon your nervous system, upon your body, upon your mind. Yeah, massive difference that can make upon your body, your nervous system, your mind. Letting go of stress, right? Letting go of stress. What's the best way to describe stress? What is the best way to describe stress? Anybody have any idea? Tension. What's the best way to describe stress? Anxiety. Meditate. Veins stiffen. Knots. Stress, right? So this is the best way that this guy can explain it in its truth. There is resistance in the mind or in the body, right? There's resistance in the mind and in the body. There's resistance in the mind or in the body. This is stress. I don't want to do that thing. I hate this thing. I don't like this. My body feels pain, right? It's resistance in the mind or in the body. This is stress. And it's a word that's been coined or termed where we grab onto it so easily. I'm stressed out, I'm stressed. There's resistance in the mind or in the body, right? So the flow has stopped, right? The flow has stopped. The connection has stopped. There isn't perfect flow in the physical body. The blood isn't flowing, it's not relaxed. Or, right, emotions aren't flowing so easily. There's angers, there's frustrations, there's fears, there's worries, there's overwhelming, whatever it is, right? So there's resistance in the mind or in the body, or feeling stuck, yeah. So these are going to be highly activating again for releasing stress and carrying it with you over the weekend, where you feel a little bit lighter, a little bit more free, and you feel aligned to move in the way that you do. So releasing what you cannot control. I choose to release what I cannot control. Choose to release what you cannot control. This alone will relieve a lot of stress from your being. Your dog just forced you to sit down instead of clean. Your dog saying, no, I want the attention. Give me love, give me attention. Remember, you are God to your dog. Remember that. You are God to your dog. They are going to look to you for food, for attention, for love, for its source. All right? Choose to release what you cannot control. Choose to release what you cannot control. Yeah, I choose to release what I can't control. Choose to release what you can't control. Why? Because it's only going to affect you. Right? The anger, the frustration is only going to affect your being. It's only going to lower your own frequency. It's only going to take away from your own creations. Not somebody else's. Right? You're going to find your mind and your attention spinning in a way that doesn't create beautiful things in your life. Let go of the yesterday and embrace right now. Choose to let go of yesterday and embrace right now. The mind can get stuck in regrets. I should have done this. I wish I would have done that differently, right? I should have done this. I wish I would have done that. Ba-ba-bum, bum, bum. Ba-da-bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 ba-da. Embrace right now. Right? Embrace right now. I told you there is great power in music, okay? There's an immense frequency in music, and the way that it's designed in this channel is you will feel the frequency very, very quickly. Neurons that fire together wire together. That's why the music is also available for purchase, right? For those of you that have bought the music, make sure to use it to your advantage. Use the music to your advantage. Why? Because there is a wiring inside of you that when you play it, it's going to do something. It's going to do something when you play it. Right? So there's the frequency that's in the music is designed in this channel for a certain way. So there's the morning music, there's also the awakening musics for spirituality, and then there's also the nighttime musics for calming down, for peace, for focus, or for sleep, right? So use them to your advantage if you haven't thus far. The best way I can explain it is if you're starting to realize, oh, I'm not feeling uplifted, I'm feeling a little down, I don't have a lot of energy, boom, put this song on, because the amount of times that you've heard activations, affirmations, my voice, and you felt uplifted, the moment you play it, your brain is going to recognize the chemistry. Those neurons have fired together. Right? This is proven by neuroscience. It's not mumbo jumbo that I'm talking about. It's not mumbo jumbo, right? Yeah, this is Rise and Shine. This is the Abundance Gang theme song for the activations, is Rise and Shine. Yeah. So make sure to use those to your advantage. This one's called Rise and Shine. So every song that I've played on this channel, besides the classical music from Mozart and Bach and all that, it's all available for purchase. All of the songs are available, and you use them to your advantage if you wish. All right, excellent. You are safe to rest, to breathe, and to trust. He meows in annoyance when you scroll away. That's funny. Yeah, and your cat says, go back. I like that more. Why? Because they're in tune with the energy field, right? They're in tune with the energy field. You're safe to rest, to breathe, and to trust. For example, I've got the most sensitive dog in the world when it comes to being tapped into energy. She is so tapped into energy. The moment the environment shifts even a little bit, if there's a little bit of frustration, if there's a little bit of anger, even just quick, just subtle and quick like words, she'll go crawling off away into a, she'll like leave the room, and she'll move really slowly and start to leave an environment like, I don't want to be around you anymore. Even just something just very small. She feels the shift instantly. I have the most intuitive dog when it comes to energy. Very in tune with the vibration. The moment it shifts, it's just like, I'm leaving. Yeah. My worries dissolve in the presence of peace. My worries dissolve in the presence of peace. She's a soft-coated Wheaten Terrier. Not everybody sees those dogs or knows those dogs. They're a little bit more rare, soft-coated Wheaten Terriers. They're Irish hunting dogs, and you need to groom them, otherwise their hair grows over their eyes and their body, and it gets all matted, and so I have to groom her. Right? But amazing dog. Tons of energy, but never has once growled at anybody or wanted to. She's never shown aggression towards any dog or any human ever once. So I don't have to worry about that. Okay. Your worries dissolve in the presence of peace. Yeah. Your worries dissolve in the presence of peace. And then I also have my cat too. My cat's a blue Russian, but I didn't buy him. He found me. I didn't go look for him. He found me. Your worries dissolve in the presence of peace. Your worries dissolve in the presence of peace. Let's go. You choose ease over pressure today. Choose ease over pressure today. Yeah, your cat adopted you as well. Yeah. It's funny how I was shown like their energies of what they represent. So my dog represents the child, just the pure joy, always happy, always blissful, always excited, no matter what it is. Always excited, always happy, always blissful, always joyful. But lots of energy, right? And lots of excitement, which is hard to deal with sometimes because there's so much. And then my cat's the exact opposite. He is just he's the stillness, right? He's the utter stillness of the mind. He can stare at me in the eyes and just sit there and stare at me in the eyes for like 5 minutes straight and he's just, right? There's nothing but peace and quiet going on inside. He can just sit there and just stare for like 2 hours or whatever, right? Complete peace, complete stillness, complete calm inside, always. Okay. So the cat represents something completely different than the dog, right? The dog is representing the inner child, and then the cat is representing the calm, peaceful mind. Right. And when you mix both together, you have an incredible thing going on, right? You have something pretty incredible going on. And they're like best friends. It's pretty funny. If I take my dog for a walk, my cat wants to follow along behind us. I'm coming. Or they'll like run around and chase each other outside and all that kind of stuff. It's fun to watch. Excellent. Give yourself permission to relax. Give yourself permission to relax. I give myself permission to relax. I give myself permission to relax. Give yourself permission to relax. Yeah, give yourself permission to relax. My dog's a female and doesn't like to cuddle so much. She likes being pet for like a minute, and then she's not a big fan of it after that. So she likes being pet for a little bit. She likes to cuddle a little bit, but then she's done with it. But my cat, he's like, that's all he wants to do is just sit there and purr and cuddle constantly. I'm going to lay on your belly. I'm going to lay on your head. I'm going to lay on your shoulders. I'm going to lay on you. Right? Yeah, the dog is Annabelle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the male cat, he's just, that's all he wants to do is just sit on your lap, lay on your lap, cuddle, and love you. And then my dog is like, okay, I've had enough. You pet me for a minute. I'm good. It's safe to be and just be still. Right? It's safe to be still and just be. Allow yourself to be still and just be. Allow yourself to be still and just be. It's certainly okay. It's okay, right? You don't need to prove something to somebody. You don't need to people please. You can just move in the world. It's safe to be still and just be. You can just be the truth of yourself. Right? If you ever flip through social media, through lives on TikTok, you're going to recognize this in a big way. Right? You're going to recognize this in a big way where a lot of people are acting from this immense amount of, I need to prove something. I'm living from all this worry or fear or whatever it is. I need to people please or it happens a lot, right? And you can just recognize it. So you're safe to be still and just be. Your heart feels lighter with every single breath. Your heart feels lighter with every single breath. Allow your heart to feel lighter with every single breath. Ah, that feels so nice. My heart feels lighter with every breath. As we talked a lot today about love, about connection to the heart, about the mind surrendering to the heart, about how the Bible points to this over and over and over again, where the mind surrenders to the heart, to the unity, to the oneness that Christ is pointing to. Surrender all your tension and welcome softness. Surrender the tension of your mind, of your body, those stresses, and welcome softness. As I point to, what is stress? Stress is resistance in the mind or in the body. Stress is resistance in the mind or in the body. So I surrender tension and welcome softness. Yeah, lots of them. Lots of them, Christina. Yeah, lots of them, Christina. I won't tap into it today, but maybe I'll make another ebook there that would be a very low-priced one just for affirmations to take with. Surrender tension and welcome softness. Let's go. Create space for peace to flow in. Create the space for peace to flow in. Create that space for more peace to just flow in. Yeah. Peace and love and joy and happiness have an opportunity to flow into your experience when there's space there. If you're already taken, if you're already filled, sorry. God's like, I would love to fill you right now. I'd love to have you feel all this love and all this joy and happiness, but sorry, you're taken. You're taken with all those judgments, hatreds, jealousies, envies, hurt, vanities, whatever it may be. You're filled. Sorry, you're filled up already. Create space for it to flow in, right? Yeah, clearing density. Create space for it to flow in. That's right. Beautiful. With that being said, we are concluding Freedom Friday. Your most powerful way to wake up in the world. I love, honor, and appreciate all of you. I can't express enough my appreciation and gratitude for how much you all were blessing this channel today. Okay, that was incredible, amazing Friday. I am going to end up playing our victory song here. Victory. Victory, victory. Here we go. Who's ready? Who's ready? This is your Freedom Friday. Wake up bringing this into your weekend. Yeah. I do plan on being on tonight. I'm not 100% certain if it's going to go through or not. So keep a lookout. I may or may not be on tonight for the nighttime live. I may not be on tonight. So keep a lookout for that. I will be on for sure Saturday and Sunday evening for the higher consciousness talks. This one is also for purchase as well if you're interested. This is called The Final Victory. Your final victory, the battle won within. Your battle won within. The final victory.
A brief pause in the storm. A low trumpet calls, echoing through the stillness. Swings tremble, then gather like a phoenix reborn.
If you want to know about the transformative 101s or the ebook, free ebook for you, fill out the link on the bottom. Move into your day with power, with strength. Feel glory. The awakened mind. Let's go, triumph. That's right. You'll feel creativity, more love, more joy, more happiness. Right? Moving into your world in a whole different way. Let's go. Let's go. No fear. That's right, Justina. No fear. Beautiful. Let's go. You all have an incredible Friday, an amazing weekend. So, a couple things I mentioned. Keep a lookout for the toothpaste video. I'm going to do that one finally, since I got my 3-month supply. And then also, I may or may not be on tonight for the nighttime live. Keep a look. I'll post it in the story. Otherwise, I will be on Saturday and Sunday. And remember,
You are and what you have become. You must take your place in the soul.
thank you, Denise. Bring life into your world. Bring life into your family. Bring life into your household. Bring life into your workplace. Bring life into yourself. Right? I love, honor, and appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for such an amazing day. I look forward to seeing some of you in the one-on-ones or this weekend or next week. Have an amazing Friday. Have an amazing Friday and weekend. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. Incredible day. Thank you. Bye-bye. Let's go.